Hey, what's going on, guys? What is happening? How is everybody doing? We are here to talk about you might not want to discuss at this point in time. Arsenal's first 10 games prediction. We did it last year. There was quite a good few numbers. Everybody was feeling optimistic. Me and Bertram got it correct with 16 points out of a possible 30. A bunch of people were in the mid-20s, high 20s, and for some of the marks and results I'm seeing now, it is a lot less than that. So I just want to introduce a couple of guys to my panel. Sorry, Ebony is trying to make her way in, and so is Vincy. So we'll have to wait to see what those guys are saying. Mr. Bungle in the house. What's going on, Mr. Bungle? Hope you're going to be telling me what your thoughts are on the games as we move forward. Neomis, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing very well. I'm looking forward to this Friday. I'm being very positive, even though there isn't much for me to be positive about. But honestly, I'm happy that football is back. Like, it's going to be an opportunity to go to the Emirates again. I'm thinking of it all. I'm watching this Chelsea game, and like I'm ready. I'm ready for football now. I've fixed it, and I can't wait.
And Tony, how you getting on, bro? Tony, you've been very quiet. You don't like talking about transfers. You just want it to all get on with it, and you want it to all start. How have you been doing, bro?
I'm doing awful, bro. I'm absolutely doing awful. You've been doing the ranting. I've been doing the silent ranting. I'm not pleased with what I'm seeing at all.
Yeah, it's you know what, and guys, look, for those of you out there who follow the channel, you know this is a really positive, upbeat channel. You know that I always come and I always bring it. But apologies if you felt offended with my change of tone over the last week. That is just me being real. Yeah, I am still going to be positive, back in this team, back in the manager, 100%. Win, lose or draw. But I think for me, I'm always a realist. I always set my expectations where they need to be, and my expectations is really low. And I was not, what's the best way for me to put it? I was not thinking that it would be this low. I was not thinking that we were on the level that we are on now, to the point where I'm saying, boy, you know what, we might finish 8th again. But things can change. We got 48 hours until the first game. Transfer window doesn't stop until the end of the month. But even if it does, a lot of the things I've said in the videos holds clear that we have failed to prepare. We've had ample amount of time, weeks, month we've had before the Euros, and nothing has been done. And I know a couple of people put on the forum, Ben White's come in. Ben White's a swap for David Luiz. It's 1 in, 1 out. No change. And the 2 young kids that we brought in were not brought in here to be starters. So our starting 11, not only has it not changed, but now we're talking about playing Bellerin at right back and Xhaka in the middle, which when we were on the 5-game winning streak and we looked good, those 2 guys weren't in there. So for me, I can't understand how some of the fan base are saying we have improved. Like, tell me where we've improved. Yeah, because I want to see what you're seeing. Yeah, I'm not having a go at you. I'm saying if you're a believer, make me a believer. Make me see what you're seeing, because I can't see nothing right now. Neil, Miss and Tony, anything you want to say before we get going?
I concur with you 100%, brother.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you there. Like, I watched the video and I had to agree with it all. I really hope Arsenal just have to bring people in before the end of the month, because like, I keep thinking about the Amazon documentary, because when it came out for Spurs, I literally put on popcorn, had a big jug of water, and sat there and laughed at them for all the time. And I really would like it to be a boring Amazon documentary, because it means that we've done well. But I just have a feel like all these documentaries, they have something they latch onto. Like with
Yeah.
Spurs ones, it was Danny Rose, and with Mourinho coming in. Like for us, what's it going to be? It can't
And you
just,
know that's a really good question, because when Man City had it, it was like,
yeah,
oh, so they walked the title. So
yeah,
everyone's watching it because we want to see what good looks like, right? We want to see
exactly.
what is it that they're doing that everyone's not doing,
Yep.
and how can that translate to failure? You know,
Yeah.
we want to see what good looks like. So that's why everyone was watching it. When we watched Spurs, it was just like everyone was laughing their heads off.
Yeah. And I don't I don't want Arsenal to be there. But if things keep going the way how it is, it could be that. And just Arteta, like just get the lineup right. If you don't get the signings, then just get the lineup right. Don't be biased. Like I know you don't like Maitland-Niles because he probably told you about yourself, but like there is a use for him along with some other players, but just find a way. Like there is a way, and he has to figure that out.
So, guys, how we've structured it, you've seen what the table looks like. So it's quite easy. Our names are at the top. The teams that we're playing, I've tried to blow this up as much as I can. Let me see. I don't think I can. Let me just try and see if I can play with this. I don't know how much of this everyone can see. Let's see if this works any better. No, because it looks like I'm going to lose something. Let me just play with this a little bit here. Let's see if I can squeeze it a bit so I can get the points average. So we've got the points for each game, and we've got the average score at the end. So not only can we do the individual games, but against Brentford, against all the teams, and we can see what our average thoughts are. So really, that's how I think it's best to actually do it, to get an overall feel from the panel what our thoughts are on the games. And obviously, guys in the chat, I want you to join in as well. Jared, how you doing? Good day to you as well, my brother. Cool K. Yeah, I'm on it, man. I'm on it like a car bonnet, as they normally say. Yeah. So let's start with we've got Vincey. I just text Vincey a message on the phone saying, "Where are you?" And as we know, Bertram is not finished until 10. Okay. I know he's busy, so he might pop on later. Ebony was supposed to be here, but she just sent me a message, and she might join us in the chat to give us her figures.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. I talked to La African Guna. He's given me his figures. Talked to Tom and talked to Lewis. So they've given me their figures. So we'll go with what we can do, and we'll kick it off by going with Brentford. So, boy, okay. By the way, I'm going to be doing a Brentford preview tomorrow, hopefully with one of my closest friends, Simon Webster, who's a Brentford fan. He's also done some publication for them. And he's been a friend of mine for a very long time. We've been Washington Redskins fans since the 80s, and we've been buddies since then. And we talk every week about the Redskins and American football. And he's a Brentford fan, so I've never really been able to talk to him one-on-one about Premiership. Now he's going to be on a couple of Friday night shows with us as well, where we do our Premier League show. And so you'll be able to meet him tomorrow. Probably about 6 o'clock, we'll do the preview, and we'll see how that works out then. But I'm going for... you've got to go for 3 points, haven't you? You can't take nothing less in this game. If we don't get if we don't get 3 points, it's going to be tough because, listen, they were balling last season, and their home is a fortress. And Arsenal are not ready. Arsenal are the same team as they were last season, and probably worse because of the two names that I mentioned, which hasn't really given anything to the team and weren't part of the 5-game winning streak. So if we're going to go in with that mindset and then start Xhaka and Bellerin, then things could get really nasty.
Leave my client alone, man.
Big shout out to Sentiment saying Pep's defense attorney, and he says big up everybody in the chat. So I'm going to go with 3 points. Neil, Miss, what are you going for with Brentford?
So before I came on this call, I had two sets of numbers. One for what I call my realistic numbers, and one for just the little boy Arsenal fan in me that just wants to come out and be Mr. Positive. And I think for this stream, I have to go positive. I can't think negative with Arsenal, at least not yet. So for me, I'm gonna go with 3 points for this game against Brentford. I think I don't know what I would think if Arsenal lost this. Like I don't know if you want me to be on the stream if Arsenal lost this game, because I would absolutely lose it. Like we have to get 3 points. Let's just leave it at that. Arsenal 3 points versus Brentford.
Yeah, for real, man. Tony, Tony, what's your thoughts against Brentford? I know Tony knows a few Brentford fans as well. We're gonna get roughed up down there, you know, boys. Tony, what's your feeling on Brentford?
Brentford, look, it's hard to judge teams at this stage in the season. We don't know how ready they are, but all I'm going by is how ready we look based on the last couple of friendlies or so-called friendlies. And I'm afraid to say, I have no confidence that we are ready. I look at what the potential lineup will be on Friday, and I have no confidence in that starting 11. If Saka was 100% fit, I might have a little bit more confidence. I unfortunately believe that we're going to see Aubameyang down and left, which is going to mean we're playing effectively with 10 players. No party in the middle.
Nine players if Xhaka starting.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. So my best bet is 1 point. That's what I'm going with. 1 point.
So Tony's going for a draw. That's actually a good shout. A couple of guys in the chat, let me know. Mr. Bungle, Jared, 18, Kuke, Andrew, Sentiment, all of you guys watching the stream. Let me know what you think is going to happen. Andrew's saying it's going to be a tight 1-0 win for Arsenal. 18 saying we will lose. It's going to be a shock defeat. Kuke saying Brentford will be a draw. Yeah, man, we can't discount it. Vincey, what's your thoughts on Brentford?
Good evening, panel. Good evening, family. Well, listen, it's an away game. First off, we've come out of pre-season, and we're still gonna go into a pre-season of a league campaign. So, in my eyes, it's going to be very difficult for Arsenal this season. But it's going to show how we grow and the young guns face the challenge of the new Arsenal. I'm going for a 1-1 scoreline, and I'm going to mirror what my man Tony says, 1 point, which won't actually be a bad result because at the end of the day, we focus and everybody wants to get 3 points. But Arsenal have shown no form whatsoever to say we deserve 3 points. So we have to be real. You know, my head says it's going to be a 1-1. My heart, I'd love us to win 1 point.
And do you know, Vincey, a lot of Arsenal fans have not really equated to what's happening in pre-season. By the way, Rwanda says Arsenal will win 2-0. There's an understanding that we actually haven't won a game in pre-season. Now, I want to just remind everybody that the Millwall game and the Watford game were scrummages. They were local scrummages because the trip was cancelled to New York. So if you take out the scrummages and if you put in the actual preseason games, so these are games that fans were allowed to attend that were scheduled, proper preseason games. We hadn't won any. Not one. So
it's not so much we have a tough run of games, but Brentford first up is not an easy game because they want to show that they deserve to be back in the Premiership. It's not an easy game.
Yeah. This is probably the biggest game for Brentford in 5 decades.
They feel they can actually get a point or a result out of this game. You know, so it is what it is. 1 point.
Okay. So as Sentiment says, Brentford draw, possible loss, beaten by set pieces and individual errors. Yeah, I don't think they've sorted that set piece problem out. And we talked a lot about the Arsenal having the third best defense. but David Luiz was a big part of that. Gabriel played his part. Rob Holding played his part. Rob Holding had more clean sheets than anyone in the team with 8. Actually, had 9. And none of those guys are available, from what I'm aware. It looks like we might go in with Ben White and Pablo Mari. So I can't sit down and say, yeah, Arsenal are the third best defense, because the guys who did that ain't playing. We've got an unknown commodity here. So, and they've looked bad. We were the second best team in the league on set pieces. They look bad on set pieces right now. So I don't know what's going to happen there, man. But at the moment, guys, we're averaging 2.4 in terms of how much points between the panel in that game. And boy, yeah, so and we're going into Chelsea and Man City. By the way, the African Guna said we're going to win that game. Lewis said win, and Tom said that we're going to win. Ruinda says we didn't lose to Chelsea. It was 2-2 different. Yeah, because of VAR. Good point. I'll take that. But even if it was 2-2, we still didn't win, my brother. So I was saying preseason we didn't win, yeah? Andrew saying Brentford will not play a game that will necessarily expose the shortcomings. It will be difficult, no doubt. Remember, they got that guy Tony. 31 goals last year. Yeah, we were talking about him today. I did a fantasy football stream earlier on today, and he was one of the guys that I was recommending you lot go and put in your team. 6.5 million. Yeah,
I actually did that. I got to say, thank you.
Tony will get it done. So, guys, next team is Chelsea. I'm going for a loss on that one. I'm sorry, they're just a well-oiled machine. I know we beat them at the turn of Christmas, and it was a revival for us. But Chelsea looks so good right now, and I think in that game is when Lukaku's going to be making his debut. And it's just bad. I mean, like a Lukaku on top of what they already had.
Yep.
Drogba Mark II.
Better than Drogba.
Drogba ripped us. Diego Costa ripped us. I mean, one good thing about playing Chelsea was that they didn't really have the danger came from the midfield. So it was kind of easy to play them. Now, how do you line up against them? I'm just reading a message against Chris King. Chris King said he's got 15 minutes. So he might be coming in shortly. So I'm going to go for a loss here. Guys in the chat, put down what you think that you would go for in this game. Neomis, what are you seeing on this one?
This for me is also a loss. I think that's pretty easy. And I'd be shocked to see the other two panel members give anything above a 0 for the next 2 games, as far as I'm concerned. So for me, it's also a 0.
So we've got what are we seeing here? Andrew actually says we're going to draw with Chelsea. It's a home game, remember? It's a home game. And listen, if people think that the fans are gonna leave off this team, they're not, man. The fans are gonna bury this team in the stadium. If they don't get their backsides in gear, the fans are going to be on them. They didn't have that last year, so we've got to be the 12th man. So in that way, Andrew, yeah, a draw is not a bad pick. It's just, but Chelsea are just like levels above us, and that's not even with Lukaku in the team. Rwanda says it's going to be, guys. Chelsea ain't all that. It's 1-1 to Villarreal. Don't be afraid. And again, that's without Lukaku. 18 says Chelsea lose.
Ooh. Positive, Arsenal.
Got some big cojones. Big cojones.
Well done.
And Sentiment saying, whoa, Neo miss better than Drogba.
No. Listen, yeah. I read a report that Lukaku's on track to score more goals than Drogba if he just maintains 18 goals a season for the next 5 years.
Listen, and that's not even really realizing his talent. Lukaku, I don't think he's playing within himself, whereas Drogba was at that top peak. So wow, that's a serious stat there.
And the thing is, how must Lukaku feel? Like Chelsea never ever gave him a chance in the first place, so he's got a chip on his shoulder. Man United, even though he's banging goals in for them, they said he weren't good enough. So he's coming back in this league now, and he's looking to brock legs. He's looking to Brock up some man in this league. Yeah. So we have to wait and see what happens. I'm not going to put that on there for Man City because we're not there yet. Kurt said we will lose to Chelsea. They will finish first or second. That is a good shout. I think Chelsea's definitely pressing for the title this year. No doubt about that. Victor says Lukaku's a bull, going to bully the bare defense. Kurt says we will lose to Chelsea. Oh, 18 is now saying when he said Chelsea lose, he meant we will lose. Jared said a win against Brentford, a loss against Chelsea. Tony, win or loss against Chelsea?
I think there's one thing that might save us a loss. I don't believe that Lukaku will be ready for that game.
Really?
I mean, he's a professional in that he's always fit and healthy. But I just got a feeling that he will be still acclimatizing because it's only a week and a half away. Yeah, so it's not like he's at Chelsea's training ground right now and he's training with the boys. He still has to get there, which is effectively going to be this weekend. And then once he gets there, he's got to get used to who's doing what, where, and how. So my feeling is he doesn't play that game. He's on the bench. And they stick with Werner. And I'm quite happy to see Werner because he's the lesser of two evils and he's the evil that I'd rather face.
Yeah.
So on that basis of that Lukaku's not playing and he's not going to manhandle our defenders, I'm going to go with a draw because we're at home.
Yeah.
The bad result of the first game will need a reaction. And I'm counting on a reaction.
Yeah, so Tony's going to go with a draw. So that's 2 draws for Tony starting off the season. Sentiment says scoring more goals than Drogba don't make you behave better. Plus Drogba was always setting up for Fat Frank. Yeah, Cool K saying lost Tony. They could have scored 8 past us last week. Yeah, we played them at home and they missed a lot of chances, man. And they didn't even have that much chances. In fact, yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Vincey,
that's a good thing. It's a good thing that we've played them and we've seen what they're capable of doing. So now this is where Arteta earns his money. How do you readjust that team to prevent all those chances? So
Vincey,
whatever little bit of metal that he's got, the proof will be in the pudding next week.
Yeah. Excellent. Vincey?
Well, again, I don't know how the order you're going, and Tony seems to speak for me, and I'm not just following you as my big brother, but I'm going for a draw as well. I look at the dynamics between Arsenal and the Chelsea games, and I think we removed from those period where we used to play Chelsea and just get slapped 6. Yeah, okay. I think we're not at the era yet because Lukaku's not there yet, but they have the potential, this Chelsea team, to slap 6 on us right now because we are a very dormant, structured team, and they're fluid, potent. They've got pace. I hear everyone talking about Werner's not the man, but you don't want to see Pulisic hit form because that guy can run past us.
Yeah. And Havertz
can run past us. They've got enough guys who can just run past us. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. We're home. And, I think our fans are going to lift us based on, again, what happened in pre-season. They're not going to stand for that foolishness again. We know we got away with one. And I think, just the dynamics between Tuchel and Arteta in the way how Arsenal seem to respond and play against Chelsea, we're going to get a point off Chelsea. And it's going to be a good one because they're going to be right up there at the end of the season.
Excellent. So, guys, we have right now really the toughest part of the first half of the schedule. I don't think at any point before Christmas the schedule will be tougher than Chelsea, then Man City, and obviously Spurs in Game 6. is Spurs a tough game? Well, I'll say it's tough because we're measuring our season after Spurs. We might not make we won't make top 4, might not make top 6. So for me, that means our season is finishing above Spurs. Yeah, those are the 3 markers right there. So if you're not going to finish in the top 6 or top 4, you got to beat Spurs. You can't let what happened last season. And a lot of people were relieved about last season because they thought, well, we're not going to enter that Fufu Cup in Europe. Give it to Tottenham. We don't want it. But at the same time, we were this close from celebrating St. Tottenham's Day. So Sentiment says, Tony, does Arteta have a heart to drop favourites? No, he doesn't. Definitely not. Could you imagine when Xhaka came back to training after the Euro 2020s?
Wow.
Arteta must have locked him in a room with handcuffs and said, you ain't going nowhere until you sign this extension. And man's like, I don't want to be here. I hate this place. I hate the fans and the fans hate me. And Arteta was like, but I love you. And I'm not letting you leave this room until you sign the extension. So that's probably what went down between the two of them. So
I can't believe the picture that our admin is painting here of his favourite player, man. I'm thinking,
how
painful was that to hear that? Wow.
Yeah, I got thoughts and pictures in my head I can't get out now. Oh, dear. Victor says, Tony, 50 minutes for Lukaku and enough against Arsenal. Well, yeah, he might come off the bench. But
yeah, I'm expecting him to come off the bench, but then that's that squeaky bum time where you cross your fingers, your thighs, your legs, everything you can cross, you cross, because you're just hoping you can see out those 15 minutes he comes on the pitch.
Yeah. Let's have a look. So now we go. G's finally joined us as well. G's saying Chelsea will murder us. I think a couple of the guys have made some good points in terms of a draw. And remember, guys, fans in the stadium, that's the key thing right there. Arsenal, their record last year at the Emirates was the worst for decades. I can't remember Arsenal having such poor form at home, even in Wenger's worst years. You know, I remember in Wenger's last season before he left, he had a great home record, only 2 losses, but the away games were atrocious.
Yeah,
and we carried that into Emery, and that was one thing that Emery had to fix, and he didn't. Emery never fixed the defense. He never fixed the away record. So when you look at things like that, it's like these things, we always had the home field advantage. And I think with the fans coming back in, they will not allow this team to sit back and get bullied like we did when we lost 3-0 to Villa and we lost all them games at home. I mean, it was just like I couldn't even watch it. It was so bad. So we move on to Manchester City. That's an L for me. And that's actually away. That's at the Etihad. We've never done well there at the Etihad. I can only think of the 2-0 win that Arteta structured when he went against Wenger's best wishes and stopped the team from getting exposed at the back. They listened to Arteta. Pierre Mertesacker put a game plan in with Arteta, and they went up there and they won the game 2-0. And we've never looked that good since then. I think it was Giroud and Cazorla who were the scorers, I think. I have to go back and remember who it was that scored for us that day. Neomis.
I'm also going to go for a loss, just because it's Man City. I think it'll be a small loss. I'm going to probably go for 1-0, because Pep's best friend Arteta, like they're going to have a conversation and say, listen, like, don't cause me to get the sack. Like, so let's not put it like tennis scores.
Really?
No, come on. The Europa League semi-final? Like, to go and play with a false 9, they had to have had a conversation. Had a conversation. So
I think so, yeah.
There is going to be a call to say, listen, Pep, like, go easy on me. Like, get your win, get your 3 points, but, like, keep it down. Like, let's keep it not like rugby scores, not tennis scores. 1-0, 2-0 tops. That's what it'll be. It'll probably be something ridiculous, like their goalkeeper will score and Sterling will get another header.
but see, so that's the thing. Will Sterling even play? Because he ain't featuring for that team at the moment. On the back end of last season, they hardly played him.
They'd be crazy not to.
Yeah, I think things will change, after the Euros and the way how Sterling played. Yes, he was on the back end, but they've slightly changed up their personnel, and
they got Grealish now,
and you've got Grealish coming in now. So again, yes, Jesus, whether he hits the ground running, Sterling would be the man to, if he's a false nine up front, that'll be Sterling. So.
So, Tony, what would you go for in this scenario?
So I'm going to go with completely the different thinking to what I just said about Lukaku. By the time we play Man City, I expect them to have bought and integrated a striker.
Harry Kane.
I don't care who it is. They will have bought and integrated a striker. I think they know they need a striker. And I think they'll go out in the next 3 or 4 days and buy one. It's a loss, even without that striker playing. But I think they'll have a striker. And if it's Harry Kane, God help us.
Yeah, I agree. God, that would just be. Could you imagine all the Spurs fans just giving it to us while they're? Oh, that is going to be a nightmare. That's an away game as well, so we're going to be streaming that. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm going to be at the home games this season. So when it's the away games, I'll do the watch-alongs for away games. So we're still going to carry on doing those. It's just I've not really. A lot of my panel members are very busy, and none of them can really pick up the slack while I'm not here to do home games. So we're going to have to sit on the home games for a while and just do away games. But Vincey, what's your thoughts on Man City?
Well, it's one of these games where we don't tend to do good at the Etihad, and I'm going for a defeat. I'm going for a 3-1 defeat. The manner is Man City away. We are just not at the same level. So you can pick any score. You can pick. Yes, they're going to get a new striker, but even if they don't get a new striker, they can play a false nine and still keep hold of the ball. So if they take their chances, we're just at the mercy of how Man City want to play against us. And at the end of the day, for me, to walk away with 2 points from 3 games ain't a bad result. Based on how we're playing right now, we have to be realistic. Arsenal's a late season bloomer, and we're going to struggle at the first half of the season. So, no point at the Etihad for me. That's a away defeat.
And let's remember, guys, the last season start, we were in 14th place at one point. So, and then in the new year, we had the second best record. A lot of momentum to carry through, but without the leaders and without the guys playing in key positions, this is what happened. You had Martinez, you had Maitland-Niles, Nketiah, and them guys were just dogging out defenses and rushing them into mistakes, topping over big teams. The press was really working for us well when we had Nketiah and Maitland-Niles. And as soon as you took them guys out, you sold Martinez, we didn't look like the same team off the ball. And I always judge this team as if they are as good as they are off the ball as they are on the ball, then we've got something working. But last season, we were atrocious off the ball. We were not dominating teams like we did to the run-up to the FA Cup.
And I was just going to say, those are the things that you've got to understand. Can Arteta use players that we have right now in those systems to be able to nullify Man City? And we're scratching our head saying he hasn't shown it. And you're thinking, but who's going to do what Niles did? Who's going to be disciplined? If Partey's not going to be, nah. You have to call it as it is.
I hear you, man.
There is a way for him. I mean, he would have to play counter-attacking football, literally like 2 banks of 4, or not even two banks of 4, a 5 and a 4, sit back, soak up, and hit them on the counter-attack. Yeah. He'd have to do things really differently. I'm talking like play Ben White, Callum Chambers, Rob Holding, like literally a wall to stop Man City from coming. Like, give them no space to be probably just to even be able to get the point. But I just don't think that's his style.
And and you as fans, we know what Nermis has said. We'd love Arsenal to go at City like that, and to pull it off, and to see us play that, we'll be like,
yeah,
very, very true.
more.
Cool K says Man City will expose us 4-0. Andrew's salt factor will be Gabriel Jesus or Harry Kane at top. I predict 1-0 to City. 1-0 is not a bad result. Rwanda says, you guys owe me apologies if you win City game. I will. I'll put that down. Yeah, I'll put that down. In fact, I'm going to write it down right here so that I don't forget. Rwanda says, Man City win. I'm going to keep that right here so I can make some notes and not forget what I'm doing. Gerard said a loss to Man City. And Sentiment said played 3 times in a week. 3-0 win, 3-0, 3-1. Not sure what that was. 18 saying put £10 in. Thank you very much, guys. Guys, your donations are always welcomed at the channel. I think it's August, so I've got my subscription cost for the channel coming up now. So any donations that you guys would make to the channel would be going to a great place because it means we're able to provide you with the same amount of service and more for this season. So I hope you guys are enjoying what you see. If you do, send a little something in from £2. You can see the $ there on the chat room as you guys are there. So anything you can send to the channel would be much appreciated. And it does go towards paying for this channel. It doesn't go in my pocket. I can assure you I ain't making that money from YouTube yet. So every penny I make goes into the channel. Osman, good to see you. You said pigs will fly before we beat City. Norwich. Let's lighten the mood up here, guys. Norwich, I can see a draw. No, I'm only joking. Norwich is going to be a win, so I can back that one. It's going to be at home. Fans are going to be a little upset because of the Chelsea and Man City results. And I think coming back to the Emirates, we can put a nice little run together. And I think it's going to start with Norwich. Iyamis.
I also am going to go with the win. I think Norwich, like too many teams have been just taking Norwich's best players. Like they have, I don't know who they've brought in, but I haven't heard of anyone they brought in. And from what I understand, they're about to lose Cantwell to potentially Aston Villa, and he's a player who I really rate. So by the time that Norwich game comes about, I think Norwich are relegation fodder this season, unfortunately.
I have to agree with you, and it's because a lot of their players like Max Evans, Max Aarons, Pukki, Buendia, they wanted to leave last summer. But the chairman said to them, help us get back into the Premier League, because remember, 94.1 million in TV money. Yeah. The chairman said, help us get into the back into the league, and then you can go anywhere you want. And so far, he's kept that promise. And it's not like when you look at how much money some of the midfielders are 60, 70, 80 million, 100 million Grealish, 40 million for Buendia. Remember, he was the 4th most creative player in the Premier League when he was there with Norwich before. 4th creative player in terms of chances created, which was higher than Willian, which is why I was saying after that year, why don't we buy Buendia? But instead, we didn't do that. So, and when you look at that, 4th place, that was higher than Kevin De Bruyne. So I think Villa have got themselves a baller in Buendia. So Niamis is going for a win.
Yep.
Tony.
Yep, for exactly the same reasons that Niamis and yourself has explained, I also believe this will be our first win of the season.
Excellent. And what about you, Vincey? What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-0 home win. I think we're going to start to find our feet and give the fans what they're asking for, 3 points.
Yeah, and that would be your first 3 points as well, Vincey. Mm-hmm. So at this point at the moment, out of a possible 12 points, I'm on 6, Niamis is on 6, Tony's 5, and Vincey's on 5 as well. And I really should have waited until we did the next result because that's 5 games and that's halfway through. So
have you got but has Bertram sent in his
not yet. Bertrand finishes work now, so I'm expecting him to come on. In
Okay.
fact, hold on a second. Let me send him a message on WhatsApp. Hold on a second, guys.
I'm just looking at the other guys, Tom and the African Gooner and Lewis.
Yeah, they sent their things and boy, I mean, look at that. You know why? African Gooner and Tony last year's both said 20.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not sure about Tony, but African Gooner definitely got burnt on that, and he's coming here just not taking no crap. African Gooner's like 12 points out of a possible 30, and that's it.
Yeah, I've seen some brutal score lines there that he's put on from 6 down. Some brutal score lines there. Boy, Oktoberfest, Arsenal on it, mate.
Look, Tony's just sent something through. Much appreciated, Tony, man. Thanks for that, Tony. Thank you very much. So that's a tenner from Tony, who's actually a panel member. And Tony didn't turn up when I took the team out for a meal. Tony couldn't. So I hope you're there on the next one, Tony.
I'll try.
And big shout out to 18 as well. So big shout out to you guys for that. Sentiment says, yes, Apollo. Tell Stan to spend the money. It's Josh. Tell Josh to spend the money. And Josh is giving us money. Josh is doing his job, man. It's what the guys are doing when they got the money. They're not doing that much when they got the money. So where are we now? We're at Burnley. Okay. Burnley away. Fool. That's a draw. That's always a draw. Like, we've been able to snatch a few wins there, but Burnley at Turf Moor, that's always a tough game, man. There's not one person that can tell me that this game is ever easy. The thing about Burnley is they've been able to survive in the Premier League by having a strong home record and a crap away record. They don't win away from home. But at home, them guys bring the funk. So I'm going with a draw there. Neomis?
Well, great minds think alike, because I'm also going with a draw in that game due to Arsenal's recent struggles and last season's performance against Burnley. Like, losing and only getting a draw against Burnley, 1 point against Burnley, for me, it's just because I don't see much change. I think Sean Dyche has got Arteta's number, and some way, somehow, Arsenal it'll probably be Xhaka again that messes it up. So
yeah,
I'm going to go for draw with that one.
And remember, guys, Xhaka over the last 4 years has led all outfield players with mistakes leading to goals. He was even, a lot of people said he played well last year, and he still led all outfield players with mistakes leading to goals. And at some point, we just have to add up the tally and think to yourselves, how much points would you save by not having him there? And I know some people might say, but yeah, Apollo, how much points would we have gained by having him there? Well, not much, because he's not that creative. Hardly has any assists. He had 1 goal, 2 assists last season, and he doesn't give you that much on the fly. And if you look at someone like Ruben Neves, who scored 8 goals and 5 assists in that time, what you would get if you plug somebody else in would be a lot more. You'd have an attacking threat. And we're not. And the thing about Ruben Neves was all of the duels and passes intercepted, tackles. He had all more than Xhaka. So it wasn't just these goals. His all-round play made him a better player. And a lot of Arsenal fans were like, "We don't want Ruben Neves." So that's where I am with Arsenal fans. I don't get it, because you don't want improvement, but then you want to keep Xhaka, and you expect by keeping Xhaka for our results to improve. Oh man, like I'm in the twilight zone in this bitch right now. So yeah, Neomis, you're going for a
Draw.
Okay, going for a draw. Tony, before I come to you, Tony, Andrew's saying we will win 2-1 against Burnley. G is saying Burnley will beat us. Kuke saying Burnley win, we will lose. Sentiment still talking about Kroenke, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure if he sent in a... No, he hasn't. Tony, what's your call on Burnley away at Turf Moor.
So I've looked at what they've done in the market in the summer, and it looks like next to nothing. I think they've only got in Wayne Hennessy from Crystal Palace on a free. I've got to be honest, I believe we should win this game. We should win this game. I'm not sure we will, but I think we should.
It was tight. Remember, I think we went down there not last season, but the season before. We actually won there, and it was in the 92nd minute. Yeah, last minute goal, and it was controversial as well.
Yeah.
So, and last season, Aubameyang scored the own goal, and we lost.
Yeah, I'm going to also throw in this little teaser for you. By the time we get to Burnley, we've gone through the transfer window, and hopefully, whoever that players that we're going to hopefully buy. And you know how I feel about transfers.
Yeah, but you said hopefully 3 times there, and you're getting me worried.
Yeah. What I'm making clear is I don't know the name or names.
Yeah.
But I do believe there's some business to be done. I am hopeful that something will happen creatively at the top end of the pitch. And by Burnley, we've got ourselves Thomas Partey back from injury because he's 3 weeks, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
Thomas Partey.
Yeah.
Thomas Partey back and a creative player. I hope we'll have turned the corner.
Right. So, but the moment now, so we're going for a win there as well. So that's very positive, Tony. Vincey, if you say we're going to win, then that gives you out of the 4 of us, you and Tony would have the highest points tally at that point. I must say I'm a bit shocked with Neomis. Neomis is looking real right now. I know I'm real, but I never expected Neomis to be the real. Yeah. Neomis, you're showing me something different today, bro.
Yeah, listen, I told you I had 2 sets of numbers and I keep changing them, but I have to be real. No, I have the ones that my heart wants and the ones that my head wants.
It depends on which side of the bed you get up on.
Yeah, but like I just don't know with Arsenal. That's the problem. I don't know.
Mad thing. Vincey.
Well, I'm going, this is Burnley. I'm going for a draw. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. It's a tough away game. Arsenal, we're not on form. We'd like to think by then we'll be clicking, but it's a tough game. 1-1. I'll take that, as Tony says, because we're hoping for the next game, which is a big game, which you're about to introduce, which hopefully should be able to have some players back who will be able to make an impact. Me personally, I wouldn't be looking at Partey to come back against this Burnley game based on how he returns from injury and then gets injured in a few games afterwards. So if Arteta's learned from this pattern with Partey, he'll start him fully fresh against Tottenham. Over to you.
Excellent. So CJ said that we are losing to Brentford, Chelsea, Man City. Wow, Spurs, Villa, and okay, so I don't even know how to add that. CJ, add up your points. So by the time we get to Leicester and we're all doing our add ups, because that was a problem this year. Last year when I did it with the panel, there was nobody adding it up, so we were all there for about 20 minutes trying to add up. So that's why I'm doing it this way, because it's showing us what the points are, so we don't have to do any math. Yeah, we don't have to do the math is done for us. So just total up your stuff and let me know where you are. Sentiment says, you're not giving me any predictions, brother. Sentiment says, same events, a draw due to Jacquemart getting sent off again. All right, so he is giving me some predictions there. And CJ is just going back and forth with everybody in here as well. So let's jump to Spurs. Boy. Oh, man. I say draw. I just don't think we're good enough. I think Song is gonna just Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough game. I'm going to go for a draw. Neomis, that's at home at the Emirates.
I told you, like, I came to this stream with 2 sets of numbers, and unfortunately, I have to follow my head, and it's a loss. Like you said, Son is going to cause damage. I don't think Harry Kane is going to get sold. I think he's begrudgingly still going to be there. I think
really?
I think that they'll. Yeah, I think that they'll probably bring 1 or 2 players in before the end of the window. Nothing big or marquee, nothing like Bale, like what they did last season. But yeah, probably like 1 or 2 kind of bench players, some rotation players that way. But I think Spurs are going to be in and around the same as they was last season. And for me, yeah, I see this one as a loss. Yeah. And these are all based on what I've seen in preseason. So I need to make that clear.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, preseason is what preseason is. Where are the goals coming from? That's what I want to know. When I was filling in the fantasy football earlier on today, I was looking at the strikers. I'm not going to lie. I looked at Lacazette and I looked at Aubameyang and I just moved on. Yeah, I was just like, I didn't even look at them for longer than 3 seconds. I looked at their names. I was like, let me just move on. And then I went down the list. I didn't even give them a second thought. And all them man that I was looking at, Ings, Calvin Lewin, Wilson, Antonio, all them man there is what I was talking about. I weren't even looking at these brother. And Lacazette, he's in his last year of his contract. Like, he cannot wait to leave this place. Yeah. Because, Lacazette, let me just have a look. I think Lacazette will be 30. I'm not sure. Yeah. I think he's 29. So, let me just check. I think he's 29 and he'll be 30.
Yeah. I'm
not right?
Sure. Are you saying...
Yeah, he just turned 30. He just turned 30.
So, Admin, you're saying that Lacazette's last year, you don't think he's going to perform slightly better than he did last year when he was playing for a new contract?
No, I don't. I think this season, part gone, I think that he was playing for a contract because we can all agree that Lacazette played well when he was integrated among the younger players and was the better option, in my opinion. But when you're grooming a Balogun and you're looking at Martinelli to step through, because last year should have been Martinelli's year, this year has to be Martinelli. If Martinelli doesn't do anything this year, then I'm going to write him off. Because I was one of the ones that was saying this guy's got Ronaldo-esque ability, both feet, aerial power, off the ball, press. This guy's got the full package. Last year, a lot of injuries. When he played, he just didn't look the same player. So this is his year.
Agent, you're going to write off.
I said that if Martinelli doesn't switch it on this year, that would be 2 years that he ain't done it.
Don't blame the player, blame the manager.
Well said, Vincey. Yeah. Well said, Vincey.
Don't blame the player.
Yes.
Blame the manager.
Thank you.
The manager's not the one on the field. So when
you're talking about Martinelli here. You're talking about Martinelli. He's not no regular. He's not no regular.
Yeah. Listen. Martinelli, I'm Martinelli. I love Martinelli, and I'm the one that said that he's the second coming of Ronaldo. He's got everything. There isn't one thing that brother does not have in his locker. But when he played last season, I don't know whether it's because he didn't play a full fitness.
It wasn't.
Or whether the manager just doesn't like him as a striker.
He wasn't fully fit, and to be honest, B, he hasn't really still got his man body. He's still a youngster who hasn't filled out his frame. So let's be honest, in this league, when you haven't filled out your frame, you get caught out because it's a very physical league, the most physical in the world. So let's give the kid a chance, but he has to get a chance.
Yeah, he's got to play this year. That's why I said to you guys, if I don't see anything from Martinelli this year, then for me, you got to go out and buy another striker because it ain't going to be him. Yeah, we've already seen Balogun is promoted to the first team. What's happened to Aziz anyway? That's for another video. So So where are we? We're at Tony. Tony Spurs. You're up. Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah.
Take out your rum, everybody. Cheers. Take out your rum.
Oh God, I hate to say this. Oh man,
It's okay to say it. You can say it, Tony. I said it.
Looking kind of peak, man.
I know it's coming.
Well, Tony,
Jared
thinks we're gonna. Jared thinks we're actually gonna beat Spurs.
I'm gonna go with a draw.
Okay, so Tony's gone with a draw.
Could have been worse.
Vinci?
Now, I put this scoreline based on the hope that some transfers are going to be made for both us. Fingers crossed, and also for Tottenham. Fingers crossed. But I am optimistic because this team, I believe they can do something decent and surprise us this season. I'm going for a win. I'm going for a 1-0 victory for Arsenal. I watched part of the game on the weekend, and we can get something out of this game. If our players turn up, and we can't still be hoping that they keep turning up week after week. Sometime they're gonna have to turn up. Sometime you're gonna have to get an own goal. Sometime Rob Holding's header is gonna have to come in and score if our strikers don't do the business. And I'll take it. It's against Spurs. So we're gonna go with a 1-0 victory. 3 points.
Remember, Gabriel had 3 goals last season. So and Ben White's in there, he can get it done. Mr. Bungle does have a question for you, and we can all answer it at the same time. Mr. Bungle says, what do we think of Tottenham? And our answer is shit. Yeah, that's what we think of Tottenham.
I can't say that because my wife's a Tottenham fan, and we've got rules of engagement, happy home and everything, and I want to keep upstairs tonight as opposed to down, so you understand.
Oh, man. So guys,
you should have known better than to keep her. You should have sent her to sleep.
Yeah,
she's asleep, but she knows what we're talking about. She knows, she could probably hear the passion in my voice. That's why I had to go for Arsenal victory.
So guys, so the average score from the panel is a 1.2 points from that game. The average from the Chelsea is 0.4, and the average score from the panel against Man City is 0 for points in that game. Man, this is something else, man. It's going a lot quicker than I thought it was because we're a little bit more organized this year. Brighton away. Now, before this season, a couple of you lot might not have been aware, but Brighton was one of the teams that we had never beaten.
Yeah,
and we were able to get that done thanks to some brilliant play by Pepe and Smith Rowe, who I think are really going to be the ballers for this team this season. I think that they've got such a good defense. I don't think that they're going to score against us. It's either going to be an away draw or we're going to win. I'm going to say draw. Neomis.
I'm also going to go with the draw as well. I think that this is going to be the beginning of the difficult period of Arsenal. And Brighton, they're going to do what they do best. They're going to be hard to break down. It's going to be one of those boring games to watch. But they're going to come with a game plan, and we're going to be hoping for some luck. So for me, I think a draw is a pretty fair result, and it's away as well.
Yeah, I it's going to be tough because Ben White's homecoming party, and look, Ben White only played 30 games for Brighton. He was only there for one season coming out of Leeds, so it's not like he's a Brighton boy, if you understand what I'm saying. In fact, when you listen to him speak to the Arsenal YouTube channel, he's more of a London boy than he is anything else. So I think they're going to try harder to tell Ben White that you made the wrong move, even though they couldn't stop him. But you're going with a draw on that one, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so guys in the chat, Andrew's going for a 2-0 win at Brighton. That would be a great away, beating them 2-0. That would be a great game, great result. 18's going for a Brighton draw. Cool K saying that we're going to lose to Brighton. CJ saying Brighton are tucking us in, 2-1 win to Brighton. He's also said, Vincey, if our players turn up, we could win 8 out of the first 10 games. That's big talk. That's big talk, my brother. Tony.
It's possible. It's possible.
That's big talk.
I'd love to see it happening. Big shout, big shout.
I'm going to be confident on this one because, you know, I don't understand how Brighton haven't demanded one of our centre backs. They've lost their best centre back, and this is what baffles the hell out of me when clubs do business. Like, you've got 2 great English centre backs, Callum Chamber and Rob Holding. I would have been all over one of them.
Yeah.
I would have been all over one of them because who have they brought in? Nobody.
Yeah.
You know, it's all very well saying, well, we got 50 million, but what have you got in defence? You got nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for a confident win for Arsenal because I can't see Brighton's business seems to reflect Arsenal's business. Hemorrhage a player and don't bring that in.
The sentiment is making me laugh. So Tony, what are you going for?
I'm going for an Arsenal win.
Arsenal win, excellent. G saying, I think we can beat them. They lost their leader in Ben White.
Yeah,
Mr. Bungles saying, nah, we're beating Brighton 2-0. By the way, Kurt is saying Super Cup is going to penalties. Keep us posted, mate. I think Vincey was actually watching. No, it wasn't. It was Neomis. Neomis was watching the game. Sentiment says, Apollo, Brighton people sound like people from East London, but got kicked out due for gentrification. Jared says also a win against Brighton. Jared's scores are pretty high. Jared, I hope you're keeping tabs on your points because your points probably sound as high as Tom's at this point. So be interesting to see where you are. Sentiment thinks that we'll beat Brighton. So Vincey, over to you.
I'm going for a 2-2 draw. A 2-2 draw. You know, we focus on the fact that we've got Ben White, but you know, Dunk still scores goals. You know, we still have deficiencies at the back, and it's an away game. You know, so a scrappy 2-2. He's going to frustrate us. We're going to be saying, yeah, we should have beaten them. You know, we've got Ben White. You know, they haven't got they haven't replaced him with anybody. We should be beating teams like this. Arsenal will be Arsenal. We'll do some foolishness, and it's that time of the year.
Oh, yeah, going into the holiday period. Guys, I forgot to ask you, you should already know by now, some of you lot are right on it by hitting that like button. The like button, guys, is really important. And when you see my videos in the week, please hit the like button because if you hit that like button, then my video gets recommended in YouTube's algorithm and it goes to more Arsenal channels and more Arsenal fans. And that really helps me out. It's not asking for much. It doesn't cost you guys anything, but it really does help me out. So please, guys, do your due diligence and help the channel out. And I don't ask so much. You guys know me already. I'm one of you guys. Yeah, this is a community-based channel. We're all the same Arsenal fans, and we all love our team. It don't matter if we think that they're good or they're not good or whatever. We love our team. So all the support that I can ask for you guys is to hit that like button and please subscribe to my man Neomis's channel. Neomis, shout out your channel.
Yeah, hit me up on AFC Neomis. I'm putting out daily Arsenal content. We will be continuing that for the foreseeable future, even after the whole transfer window saga. So do check me out and also, yeah, like my videos and subscribe as well.
Excellent. So what we've got here is, this is where things are going to get really tough. But so Crystal Palace at home. Now, This is a game where Arsenal fans have some serious mental health problems. Vincey, do you want to tell them why we have mental health problems against Crystal Palace at home?
I don't know. Maybe it's the singing for the travelling fans. I don't know.
No,
I mean,
I'll give you 2 words. Unai Emery. Top 4. So for those of you who don't
Unai
remember,
alone, man.
for those of you who don't remember,
Don't leave
Unai alone, man.
Arsenal needed 1 point from this game and they would have made the top 4. And instead, Emery rested 6 players due to the Europa Cup.
Don't do it.
He decided the Europa Cup was going to be the way we were going to get into the Champions League, not the league. The league is always your first and most important competition to win and to get into the Champions League. And we blew it. And not only did we blow it, but that cascaded towards the end of the season. We got blown out against Leicester and Wolves by 3 goals away from home. We lost. We got Chelsea walked the Europa Cup final in Baku. This was the game that broke the straw of the camel's back. I'm not even going to go first.
You got Patrick Vieira. You know, Patrick Vieira coming down.
Apollo, I'll go first because
Come on now. Have a little bit of confidence.
Go on there, miss. Give me some hope. If you talk me up in the miss, I might give this a 3. I might give this a win.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. I wouldn't have put the top 4 hopes all on this game against Crystal Palace because we had multiple opportunities that season to win, including Brighton. But I will say this, that with Patrick Vieira at the helm at Crystal Palace, a former, an Arsenal legend, former Arsenal player, and when you look at the players that they've brought in, some of them that I quite like, who I thought Arsenal would have gone after, like Michael Elise, I can honestly say that Arsenal will get a draw out of this game. Because there's no way that I could go again. Like, I honestly think that what Palace have assembled, this kind of resurgence from them, I think that they're going to put in a real solid game for us. And I think that the players are going to underestimate them. I think Eze is still injured, but
OMG.
Is it because Unai Emery could win the Super Cup? I think he's ahead in the penalties now.
He is, yeah. They're 1-0 up on penalties.
Isn't this something? You know, he leaves and he wins a Europa League and could win a Super Cup.
Oh my!
I just saw the Chet Havertz penalty. It was absolute shocking miss. You look at that foolishness that England did in the Euros, and he just did another one. That run up, Paul. Put your foot through it, boys. Put through it.
Yeah, and what Andrew said, Wilfred Zaha always shows up against Arsenal. That's his middle finger to how we never really got that signing over the line. And Unai Emery also wanted him as well. So I'll go with a draw. I think that's going to be a really good game to watch if you're on neutral. I think it's this is going to be Arsene Wenger in disguise versus Arteta.
Wow, good analysis there. Good analysis.
I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to that game.
Boy, Gerard, we need you, man. We need you, Gerard. Gerard B, we need you, man. We need some of what you're smoking, my brother. We need some of what you're. At the moment, Gerard's on 15 points. He's slapping everybody up.
Good 10. Good 10.
He's got 5 wins and 2 losses, no draws.
Wow.
For 5 wins for an Arsenal team that can't score, I think that's brilliant. Gerard. I don't know where the goals are coming from, but that's awesome.
On goal, man.
I'm going to go for Arsenal win. I think we're going to win. I think we're going to win this game. So I think we're going to win this game. I think that there's going to be a lot of pressure on Patrick Vieira. I just think that we're not going to be as weak at home as we was last season, but I just don't know where the goals are coming from. And the reason why I'm saying we're going to win is because Palace don't really have a goal threat. You know, if Nketiah went there, then I might think differently. But Benteke is Brock.
Well,
He's mashed up. He's Brock. And that's why they want Eddie. So I think they've got problems scoring goals. We've got problems scoring goals, and I think the home field will take us through there. So I'm going with a win there. See what the guys are saying. CJ saying we're losing to Palace. Kuke said Palace will win 1-0. We can't score. Andrew saying draw. Wilfred Zaha always turns up in this game. 18 saying Palace will win. Sentiment saying Palace have scored tons of goals. 3-1 to Palace. Jesus Christ. Gerard saying a win against Crystal Palace. He's on 18 points, guys. He's running away with it. He's on 18 points, and he might be, this is just might, but Gerard might be in the top 4 at this point.
Wow.
Yeah? He might be in the top 4.
Alongside Tom.
Well, let me look. Yeah, you've been looking at Tom's figures, haven't you? So, yeah, he's probably a little bit alongside.
Yeah,
hold on, let's have a look. Tom. Yeah, he's probably alongside. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Tom might still be a little bit ahead of him.
Yeah, Tom's top of the league.
It might be a little, but not by much.
Well, he's on 20 points at this point.
Yeah, and Gerard's on 18. So, okay, Tony, what's your thoughts on this one? Tough one to call. I just think Palace can't score, but it depends on. Zaha's brilliant against us, and
I got agree with you. Palace can't score, and you know me, I like to do my due diligence. Palace have lost Andrews Townsend, Patrick Van Aanholt, Mamadou Saka, Wayne Hennessy, James McCarthy, Gary Cahill, Scott Dan, Connor Wickham, all have gone. And you got to go, well, what have they got? They've got Michael Elise. And that is the only name I know of the four or five players that they've brought in. So I kind of look at that and think, well, how fit is Izzy? Obviously, he's got a long time before we get to that game. So, yeah, he should be ready. But you're pretty much relying on Benteke unless they buy someone.
Yeah.
And I kind of think we got to be favourites to win that at home because they don't carry a goal for it. I know Benteke was barren until he played us last year. But I got to kind of think that we should be winning that game. We should be winning that game.
So I've just messaged Ebony on my phone and I said, can you send me your pics? We need some positivity. We need some love in this room. We need some love. We ain't getting no love, guys. Gerard is the only one that's giving us some love. Everybody rub him like Aladdin's lamp. Get some of that fever off him because my man is on fire. That's what I love to see Arsenal fans. Ebony said 30 points last year. Tom said 30 out of 30 points last year. And me and Bertram was hanging back at the back. But Bertram, I have sent Bertram a message. I tell you now, Bertram Brock, he mash up. Yeah, Bertram mash up. If you've seen him on the last few streams, Bertram's not in a good place. I'm not in a good place. Tony's not in a good place.
Trauma.
Golden goal.
Vincey's not in a good place, but I'm not as calm. Like Vincey's calm, man.
Yeah, I've seen it all before, man. I've seen this all before. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to get excited and lose your health after watching our beautiful team play right now. So,
boy, Vincey, if you saw me, not that when I made the rant video, it wasn't when I actually made the video, shot it. It was when I was editing the video and I had to look at what I was saying and edit it. I was sitting here. It must have taken me 2 hours to edit that video because I was so low. At that point, I was so defeated.
And I could tell from the second one, when I looked at it, I said to myself, what has this team done to Apollo? Because I'm looking at you, can't even talk. You're sitting in your car and you're like.
But you know what? The feedback I got from Arsenal fans, that some of them said, Apollo, that's one of the top 5 videos you've ever made.
But that's what I've always said to you. You've got to keep it. You've got to keep it real. You know, you can't pull the wool over Arsenal fans. Yeah, we are dealing with trauma, real trauma. Yeah, and it's like, you know, it's not about Stan's throwing money, Josh's money. No, guys, what are you doing with the money, man? What's coming with it? It's not about just buying and giving a man a 4-year contract for foolishness, man.
Yeah.
You can't, at this day and age, a pandemic, you can't be doing them things.
You know, I was talking to a production company, which I can't mention here at the moment for obvious reasons. And they sat down in the boardroom and watched my video. And they watched a lot of Arsenal videos because they're doing a lot of research at this point. They told me, by the way, Kirk is saying that that Chelsea have won. They told me, they said, when we watch your videos and we watch videos of other Arsenal YouTubers who I won't mention, they said to me, how comes you're the only one that's asking the questions that are valid to our situation? And I said, what do you mean by that? And they said, well, like a couple of Arsenal fans have said, we're shit. We're rubbish. We're good. But they haven't explained to you why we're rubbish or whatever. And they said that my tactical analysis in my videos is really up there with the best of them. And I tend to think that one of the people they were talking about was who's a really good tactical analyst is Deluded Gunner, because I really enjoy his content. He knows his stuff. And some of the things I hear him talk about is the things that I feel need to be addressed. Because there's a lot of you lot know about all this rubbish and media scaring and scaremongering. One of the guys, we're getting for some reason a lot of Arsenal Fan TV pictures on our forum, and a lot of them is having a go at how much Arsenal has spent, and one's talking about our season ticket costs and all this stuff. And like that narrative is just winding the fans up. And it's just like, if I'm angry at something and I've got an issue and I put it in my video, it's for a good reason. And I don't mean to wind you up if you feel like you're being wound up. I'm bringing you logic. Yeah, I'm bringing you the source. So it's a question. Yeah, that's what I'm bringing to you. I'm not going to go out there and say to you, Arsenal have got the highest season ticket prices. Why are we ripping the team off? Because that's not true. Because if you was an analytical man like me, you'd know that our prices includes cup games, Europe, and whatever. Yeah, that's included in the package. When you add up what Chelsea and Spurs and Man United have to pay for their Europe games or FA Cup games, it adds up to more than what we pay. But the likes of TalkSport and all these guys drill this into Arsenal fans because they know you guys will go into meltdown. It's like bee to honey. So I don't do all that stuff. I don't do that on my channel. If I talk to you with an issue, it's a real issue. It's an issue that you can look up, do your own research, and understand that what I'm saying to you is facts. Yeah? So anyway, listen. Sorry,
I'm just going to add on there, that's what I do like about our match day commentary, our game threads, because, from the panelists that we have, we have various ones from week to week. But we also do keep it real on live stream commentary. We keep it real, and it's about the passion. We're all passionate, but sometimes you have to call out some of the things that go on in play, foolish, big up, and keep it real. And you're going to get this through the channel. You're going to get it across the board with the panelists when they give it their real talk. They're going to keep it real because we love Arsenal, and it hurts when it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah, guys, we are bleeding because we care. Yeah, it's like your mother and your father. The reason why they beat your backside for you when you was young, and the reason why they curse you out and tell you how to fix up, not because they hate you, because they love you.
Mm.
That's why they do it. And that's the reason why we call it out when we feel hurt. But anyway, Vincey, you're up on Crystal Palace.
Well, I'm hearing it.
Vincey.
Yeah, I'm hearing everyone saying it's a big game for Patrick Vieira, but I think it's an even bigger game for Arteta because, when you stop and you think, fans are not happy with Arteta and they would actually, probably want Vieira. Some fans would want Vieira to step in and be hit. Arteta has to come out with his team fighting on all guns to say, you know what? The players are behind me. I've got this job. I know what I'm doing. So, it's a difficult game against Palace. Yes, they've lost a lot of players, as Tony said, but they give us a fight. But I believe this is going to be a game. I'm going to call the player who's going to stand out for me if he's selected. Pepe is going to have a big game.
He's going to have a big season. Pepe's going to get it done. He's
going to have a big game, and I'm going for a 4-2 victory. A 4-2 victory at home.
Wow.
Yeah, he's going to say, you know what? Let me loose.
Vince is on fire right now, man.
This is going to be a let me loose game for Pepe. 4-2 against Palace.
You know what made me laugh? When I was doing my fantasy football video earlier on today, I really enjoyed that live stream, by the way. A lot of people were talking about all these Mande in the midfield or whatever, and I had to find a way to fling Pepe in there. I had to, because Pepe, I haven't even got Saka in there, because if I looked at how much goals Pepe scores and assists he has, Pepe's the man. I've said to you guys every month of the 2 years, he is the most talented player on this team. And when he's on his game, defenses cannot play him. He can do anything. He can go by you. He can slip you. He can put the ball through your legs. He can finish set pieces. His corners are excellent. They don't even let him take free kicks. The guy's the best free kick taker in the team, and they don't even let the guy take free kicks. I see Thomas Partey kicking him out of the way in preseason because Partey wants to take free kicks. They don't even let this guy do that. He can do everything for you. Oh my! Listen, Pepe is gonna. You watch this season. It's gonna be lights out. I said this last summer, but Arteta decided he weren't going to play him.
Well, so, he's gonna have to play him before the African Cup of Nations. So now's the best time to have Pepe.
There's no African Cup of Nations. There's no.
You sure there's not?
There's no African. The reason why people are confused with it is because it was originally supposed to be in June and July.
Yeah.
And they cancelled it to January. And that's why people think that it's still happening. But what happened is they actually cancelled January's date. So there's going to be no African Cup of Nations till 2022. There's no African Cup of Nations at all. Yeah?
All right.
Yeah. So big shout out to Kurt. There's a couple of good donations today. And remember, guys, anything that you can give the channel from £2 upwards would be appreciated, because I got to pay for this channel again, and my man's going to be knocking doors. StreamYard's going to be asking for a couple of dollars from me, yeah? So anything that you guys can give to the channel to big us up would really help us provide you with the same level or even better content this year. Kurt, much appreciated to you. Thank you very much, my brother. So we're down to the last two guys. Andrew saying, after hearing Tony, I'm changing my mind. Keep Zaha relatively quiet and we win 2-0. CJ said Arteta is a fraud. Sentiment has said Emery in. Oh man. Right. Okay, so here we go, guys. Aston Villa. I'm going with a loss. Aston Villa beat us 3-0 at the Emirates last season. I think they're going to beat us again. Martinez in goal, best goalkeeper in the Premier League. Danny Ings up front. Ollie Watkins. I think they're going to do us. Buendia in the midfield. I think they're going to do us at home. I'm going for an Arsenal loss there against Aston Villa. And that's going to be a really upsetting loss, because we would have just come from beating Palace at home the week before. Then we come in against Villa, and I think that Villa's going to turn us over. Neomis.
I also put this one down as a loss as well. For me, I think the signings that they've brought in, Buendia, Leon Bailey, Danny Ings. They are now having depth and quality. I would say that Danny Ings will probably start and Ollie Watkins will probably be on the bench. And the fact that they could call upon him to be able to do damage, and they're trying to get Cantwell as well before the end of the transfer window. Like, if you're talking top six, like, Arsenal should be worried that Aston Villa could finish in the top six. And I know, like, we haven't talked about who's going to finish where, but Villa for me are potentially a dangerous side. If they remain relatively healthy, if Buendia even just gets half the numbers that he got in the Championship, if Leon Bailey gets anywhere near what he did in the Bundesliga, and Danny Ings scores at least 15 goals, it is done. They will probably challenge for top four. Like, they've got a real solid side with a way to play, and they've just added to it. They've added the squad depth, and yeah, for me, they're a tough side. They're the dark horses. So for me, that's why for me that has to be a loss.
Yeah, I've gone for a loss on that. Tony, for some reason, I haven't got your Crystal Palace result. That was my fault. What did you say for Palace?
It was a win.
It was a win. Okay. And on Aston Villa, Tony, what are you saying on Aston Villa?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I like what Aston Villa have done. They have now got two, what I consider to be prolific or good, two, not prolific, two very good strikers.
Hold on. Are you saying that a 20-goaler striker in Danny Ings is not prolific? I just wanted to, because I don't want Bertrand to come on in and start arguing with you again.
I was making the comment about the two strikers combined, so yeah. I can't call Ollie Watkins prolific yet.
I agree.
So that's why I kind of held back from saying they've got two prolific strikers. They've got one very good, very above average striker and one good striker. So they've got better strikers than we have currently, in my estimation.
He's not prolific.
Well, look,
that's an answer, Paul. He's not prolific.
Yeah, I think the thing from my perspective. By the way, Tony, is that a win, loss, or draw?
So I want to give the full picture around my decision.
Okay. Is this going to be?
Yeah, well, you know,
Tony's throwing haymakers. He's throwing haymakers.
I'm one of those that this game is going to hinge on the next week of transfers, basically, because Aston Villa have done the sensible thing. They've gone out and bought all their players in advance, even before they sold their big player. They knew the money was coming, so they went out and they went, bam, we're buying. And I love that they came to Arsenal and said, name your price for Emil Smith-Rowe.
Yeah,
that is a club that if I was a supporter, I would be super proud of them. I can't say that about Arsenal right now.
Real talk.
So I'm a little bit conflicted because I believe right now Aston Villa create a problem for us. If I'm basing it on lineups, I kind of think Villa will win. But Arsenal have a week and a little bit to get someone in, to get that creative end of the pitch sorted. Right now, I'm going to say it's a loss. But if in a week and a bit, Arsenal go out and do the business with what they can do, where they need to do it, that decision will change. Okay. Most of the other games, I'm not really hugely thinking someone's going to come in and make a difference, but I actually believe this is one of them.
Excellent. So what we've got here, I think the guys, did I say their results? 18 said Villa will beat us. Cool K said we won't beat Villa. CJ said draw with Villa. Andrew said Villa 3-1. Oh, Arsenal beat Villa. Oh, sorry, Arsenal beat Villa 3-1. Grealish, mate, they ain't gonna miss Grealish. Buendia is the real deal, my brother. Let's have a look. Kurt says Villa win. They've made some good signings and are building a good team. G said Villa know what they're doing. We don't. Sentiment said 2-1 Villa, Traore goal and McGinn. Man, they've got a good team. You know
Great
what? Because
players.
because I keep saying that our problem is in the midfield. Our midfield is just don't have a good midfield. D is saying, big shout out to D. D, I mentioned you in my rant video the other day. So I haven't forgotten about you, my brother. D says 2 wins, 6 losses, 2 draws, which gives us a total of 8 points. Wow. Oh, wow.
D, we're close to the same conclusion.
Wow.
Yeah, you and the Elmis right now, man.
Wow.
CJ saying, I think I read that one out. Yeah, I did. G said, real talk, Tony. 18 saying, Tony would have never been like this last season. He's changed. Kurt saying, apparently our interest in Aaron Ramsdale is on the brink of collapse as we can't agree. Yeah, we can't agree a fee because they're asking for foolish money. How can you sell Martinez for 20 million who just won an FA Cup, and you're selling this guy for 32 million who got relegated? Hold on a second. Let me turn around for a second and try and quantify that. So Arsenal won the FA Cup and beat all them teams, Liverpool, Man City, all them teams, and Chelsea in the final. And this guy was renowned as one of the best goalkeepers in the league. I think he's the best. And you sell him for 20 million. And this team here that got relegated because they were so bad want 32 million for their goalie.
Apollo, Arsenal are paying for their decisions like over the past several years. Like I'm telling you, this season, that when that Amazon documentary comes up, Apollo, Bern Leonard's going to get injured this season, and then you're going to see the drama. Arthur Okonkwo and Carl Hein, Runnison, they're going to be in goal.
You know what made me laugh? 3 weeks ago, I got a text saying Runason has accepted a transfer to a team in Scandinavia. Up to now, man's still there. And what it came down to was the team wasn't going to pay him 40 grand a week because Arsenal's giving him 40 grand a week. What it came down to is the team was only offering something like 25,000 euros, which is probably about 22,000 or something in that respect. So we're going to have the same problem that we had with Bentner and Nicholas Bentner and all them players that we were paying too much money to. Socrates, Klasnach, all them players that are on high salaries, and no other teams can afford to pay them that money or won't pay them the money. You know, Roma had a problem paying 20 million for Xhaka. They didn't have a problem paying 34 million for Abraham. It comes down to our players. Just like I said, I keep telling you, you lot disagree with me, but our players are trash. They ain't worth nothing. We can't even say we have to give them off for free. The only way to get rid of these players is to just give them up for free because no teams will pay you any money for them.
Some of them can be given away for free. I agree. Kolasinac, Xhaka, Runnison, we should give them away for free. Some of them, like Nketiah, Nelson, Maitland-Niles, I think you could do some bits with them. If you get the structure right, you've got to change a few things around. But
because here's the science, yeah? You know I like talking science.
Sure.
Here's the science. If you're on 100 grand a week, which is what Klasnach is making, over the year, that's costing you 5.2 million in wages.
Yeah. So
if you give him away free now, guess what? You've just saved 5 million in wages.
That's what I'm thinking. Hello.
So this is the very definition of cutting your nose off to spite your face. Schalke want him, and they don't want to pay nothing for him. And because of that, we won't let him go. You can save 5.2 million.
Apollo, one of the other things that I don't understand why I'm not seeing, like for a club that's supposedly on a self-sustaining model, why aren't we where are the loan players? I honestly thought loans, free agents, and smart signings was going to be the strategy.
Well, what happened last year is teams have caught on to the loan thing now. Teams have caught on to the fact that most teams are only taking an abundance of loans, not to even play them, but just to fill a quota. And so a lot of teams like Real Madrid, a lot of the big teams now, they're not accepting it anymore. They're not doing it because it's a game that's it's like this Odegaard thing. If we bring in Odegaard now, the situation would be like a Guendouzi situation. With Guendouzi, you send him out to loan, you send him out to loan, you sell him out to loan, and then before you know it, which is like William Saliba, before you know it, he's got 1 year left on his contract. He's never played for you, and he's not worth nothing in the market because he's down to his final year. So there's no value in sending players out to loan. There's more value in selling the player because then you're not allowing them to run down a contract. So everyone's kind of caught onto the game now. So we're not seeing a lot of loans for this reason because teams are just using it as a cop-out.
I think when Yamis was referring to Kolasinac, it just brought my mind back to when we first went for him, and I heard a lot of chatter about, but it's free. He's free. We can give him a salary, bring him in. And I'm shaking my head and saying no, because this is the problem where Arsenal fall short. They don't plan for the future because they don't develop the players that they bring in. So when you bring in players on a free and you give them that free money, when it's time for you to sell them, you can't sell them. And that's where we as a club are shooting us. We are not self-sustainable. I don't see anything about our model that is self-sustainable. We just robbing from Peter to pay Paul, and that's where we are right now. And it's frustrating because we have a wealth of youngsters coming through who we still shipping out as well for the same purpose.
Yeah, I think it's frustrating for Arteta and Edu have been there for 18 months, and it's frustrating for them because, like I said to you guys last week, they're putting out fires. And when you're trying to build the foundation, it's like trying to put out a fire with oil. The more water you put on it, the more of the fire spreads. It's just this thing. It's just this thing that is taken on a life of its own. And they're spending more time trying to get rid of players and managing the salary and the high wages than they are actually trying to bring, because you can't bring players in. You literally are battling with the 25-man roster. At the moment, you need to sell to bring in. Otherwise, you're going to be left with, if the transfer window finished now, we would have 3 men over our quota. So you're essentially looking to 3 men and saying, sorry, guys, there's no space for you in the team. We have to pay you because you signed a contract, but you've not been submitted to play any league games or anything like that. Yeah, you're stuck with it.
But that's the plan. But this is what I'm saying. Whilst you're saying they've only been here for 18 months, they've come in knowing that Arsenal have been operating like that before.
Well, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I think the Raul scenario.
But this is the club. What I'm talking about is this is what Arsenal are doing. Okay, yeah. Emery was there. They were doing it before. The club hasn't changed. These guys are coming in and doing exactly the same thing. We're not moving forward as a club progressively with our players and with these transfers. We're just not doing it.
I agree, Vincent, but I have to tell you what I've been told from London Coney. And you guys already know this. There was skullduggery going on, and they couldn't figure out what was going on with the books. So they got rid of Dick Law, and they got rid of quite a lot of people. And what Stan said to Josh, this was the January 2019. Stan said to Josh, I want you to go to London for 3 months and tell me what the hell is going on there. You all know that this is what happened. Yeah. Josh came in that January as an advisor to oversee what was going on. It didn't take him no more than 2 months to report back to his dad what was happening. A couple of weeks later, Raul Sanelli was fired because of all the stuff that was going on with Lille and Pepe and all this underhanded stuff. This thing, they didn't know what was going on, Vincey. That they were completely oblivious to it. And I'm not sure how Vinay escaped with the skin on his back. But having to pick up from what was good. Because remember, Raul Sanelli brought in the Barcelona, the European model or whatever. Vinay didn't have any input. He was just like, yeah, all right, we'll do what this guy says because he's experienced. He was at Barcelona for 14 years. He knows what he's talking about. And the truth is, there was so much crap going on around in Arsenal, and we're paying for it. The Ramsey issue, where there was a pre-contact agreement with Wenger. And then when Gazidis left, the Wenger left, Ramsey was like, where's my contract? In the end, he stayed and went on a free. All these different things. This club has been run into the ground at the front office level. So everything just capitulates. The owners now have more substance because Josh is in charge. Not a thing happens in this team without Josh Kroenke knowing about it. Yeah. So look, 18 months is when I know a lot of people are moaning and whatever, but for me, I'm on board with this program because I know it takes time. You can't fix the amount of shit that is going on with this team in 1 year or maybe even 2 years. It's going to take time to root all the evil out and get rid of the deadwood and get us back on a foundation that we can build from. Like I said to you before, we are putting out fires. Yeah. So, Vincey, you're up on the Aston Villa result. We're waiting for you on that one.
I'm going for our first home defeat of the season. I can't believe we're in the... What date the game is? It's at the time of the year, was it? October? Is it October?
Yeah.
October, and it's our first home defeat? Well, I'm going for a 2-1 Villa win.
Nice. 2-1 Villa win.
2-1 Villa win at home. I can't believe that's our first home defeat that I'm calling out. And I think we've done well to get that far.
So that game would be on the 22nd of October. Wow. It would be Liverpool in a couple of weeks after that as well. Last one, guys. I know, we didn't do 11. We just did 10 games. So hold on. Is that Liverpool game home or away? It's away. It's at Anfield. Oh, Lord. All right. Let's stay away from the drama at the moment. Okay, so Leicester City away at Leicester. I don't think we're going to win that. I don't at the moment. Maddison thing, I think is 50-50. I think Maddison. My opinion on it is, if you've got 70 million and you can get a goalkeeper, you can get an Awar, and you can get a backup goalkeeper and a midfielder like Ruben Neves. I would rather do that with 70 million than spend it on one player. That's just me. We have far too many needs in this team. I just wouldn't do it. Even if I know Maddison wanted to come, I just wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it because I've got nightmares. When Leno got hurt against Spurs, every Arsenal fan was just every Arsenal fan was just like, oh no. Because that, if you don't have a goalkeeper, that's what's going to happen. And then I don't care if you've got Messi and Ronaldo up front. If you've got Rooney in goal, you're dead. You're dead. So if it was me, Maddison versus Neves and Awar and Onana or something to that respect. Because if you offer enough money for Onana, they'll do the deal because he ain't staying there. The only reason why it's not been done is because he won't play until end of September. So you don't you've then got squeaky bum time with Leno for 1 month or 2 months. But you'll at least have an option, and not just an option, but a long-term option if you bring in Onana. So I wouldn't do the Maddison deal. I would bring in Awar. I would bring in Ruben Neves to strengthen the midfield, and I would bring in a backup goalkeeper. I would bring in Onana. I would offer them money. I think people are talking about 5-10 million euros. I'd give them 10 million euros. Or even 12, anything to sweeten the pot. And that's what I would do, because we have so many needs in this team that unless Maddison plays goalkeeper as well, then that just ain't working for me. And I'm a big Maddison fan. I love Maddison. But right now we're at the point where this team is just so bad in so many areas that I don't think that if Bert Leno gets injured, I think you're dead. You're dead in the water. So I'm going to go for a loss here. Guys in the chat, send me your Leicester City scores. Neomis.
For me, this is pretty simple. I'll also go for a loss as well. This is going to be the tough period for Arsenal. This is going to be the point where fans will probably start to turn against Arteta if they haven't already. When you told me that Liverpool is the 11th game after this,
I think it's the 12th. So the 11th, yeah, the 11th is Watford at home, and then it's Liverpool away.
Okay, all right.
And after we got Man United away after the Liverpool game.
Oh Jesus! Oh, okay.
So we got to go to Anfield and then Old Trafford.
Okay. All right. Well, at least we'll get 3 points as long as Troy Deeney isn't playing. Like we'll get 3 points at Watford. Spoiler alert.
I think so. Yeah, we look really good against Watford when we played them.
Yeah. But for me against Leicester, Leicester are my favourites to win the Europa League this season. I think they'll miss out for top 4, and I think it'll probably be because they'll win the Europa League. Again, similar to Villa, I think they've got a solid side, but they just have the experience of doing it. They always cause the top 4 teams problems. The fact that they won the Community Shield is evidence of that. Like, you know, it wasn't that they didn't play badly, rarely ever make like glaring mistakes. That their new signing, their new striker, was it Patson Dakar, I think his name is. He looks pretty good, and they finally got a tune out of the other striker they got from Man City, Iheanacho. So you know they're doing it the right way. They're like Arsenal, but you know 5-10 years ago. So I really like what they're doing, and yeah, they're going to be in and around up there in the Premier League.
Right, so guys, if you notice, I'm actually writing down the guys in the chat. I'm writing down your figures here so that I can remember them. So if you can send me your totals, please fire away. I am logging everything. So Kurt sent me his. Rwanda, send me yours. Rwanda, sorry, send me yours. G, send me yours. 18, send me yours. Cool K, everybody send me your final scores. So you're going for a loss on this one, Neomis?
Yep.
Okay. Tony.
Nil point.
That sounds like when you're in the Eurovision Song Contest and they're telling you the scores. So, anything you want to elaborate on that, Tony?
They're just too strong. They've got, you know, a great scouting system. They keep bringing in good talent. They keep just, you know, every year Leicester will unearth 2 or 3 gems. What we fail to do, they're now doing it year in, year out, week in, week out. And they were too good for us last year. They'll be too good for us this year. I think that's a good shout, Neomis, for them for the Europa.
Yeah,
might have a look at the bookies and see what I can get, because that looks
And now with the new format, it's set up so that, like the old days where the Europa League teams, it'll be easier for them. And because it's the first year, like the top 4 now, I don't see any English club dropping down in the Europa League. So it's you know, it's set up for them. Unless West Ham, unless West Ham get Jesse Lingard back and they sign a striker. I mean, they could surprise people, but I doubt it.
Man, some of you guys are ripping this. Like a lot of the names I'm seeing down here, you guys were in your mid-20s last year. Yeah, you had a go at me and Bertram last year because we come in with 16. Some of you them, yeah, who were 18 was 26 points last year, and he's got 14 points this year. Yeah, that shield got real for you real quick, didn't it, bro? Yeah, that shit got real for you real quick. So Tony, you're going for a loss.
Yeah.
And Vincey, you're the last one, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 3-1 Leicester victory at home. Yes, there's strength all over the pitch. But for me, in this game, I really... There's a player I scouted and I desperately wanted him to be at Arsenal. Samare. The guy...
What a DM he would have been for us.
The guy's
Big,
going to be
strong.
phenomenal. Guy is...
Technically good.
You want a fluid mobile player who can get up and down lateral. The guy can play both sides. Samare and Rodgers is just going to develop him. And I just want to see how we as a team deal with players like that. Because when we go on the attack, Pepe is going to have to deal with players like that. And it's not going to be easy. It's 3-1. It's a big shout that you gave for Leicester to win the Europa because for Brendan Rodgers to pull that off, you stop and you think for him to turn Leicester around the way he's doing and to bring Europa, that's huge.
Yep, massive.
Huge. But they're making strides and progress after winning the Premiership. You stop and you think, yes, they didn't win it the year after, but they had a good run in Europe. To come back and do that, that's progress. And as Tony says, they're recruiting well. They're recruiting smartly. And that's what we want at Arsenal. We can only be jealous. You have to give it up. Give the props up to other clubs and other players when they're doing it. They're doing it the right way. Big up Leicester, 3-1 victory.
So we've come to the end of not the end of the stream because the guys are going to give their predictions on our final position. Where are we going to finish in the league? Let me just move this down a little bit here. Let me insert, and then I can type in final league position.
Wow.
If I could. Final league.
How can we give a final league position when possibly Leonard could be out and we may not have no keeper?
Yeah, but, well, we can revisit it. I'm always going to have this file, so we can revisit it. If any of you guys want to change leading up to the end of the transfer window or any time in September when you get a good look at it, then we could definitely change it. I don't think I'm going to change mine. When I made that video, you all heard what I had to say. I said this team's going to finish 8th again, and I said if we get the rub of the green in terms of VAR and stuff like that, then we'll finish 7th. So I'm going to go for 7. Yeah, I think that we will finish on 7. Leomis, where do you think that this team is going to finish up this season?
I hope we finish 7th. Statistically, I could see it. But based from what I've seen so far and what other teams are doing around us, with everything that we've talked about, it's looking like 8th again, and it's a shame. Because no, listen, right? I have to come today using my head and not my heart. My head says if we got progress, we go with 7th. No, with Kazinha, I see that comment that you left. You're smoking something for you to put that. That's crazy talk.
I just saw. So, guys, we got the comment of the day. Fire in the room, fire in the chat, and fire on the panel. Kez just lit this thing up. Kez has just said that Arsenal are going to finish 4th. Listen. We got Jared. Jared B is in the chat, and Jared has been flinging shot. Jared, actually, I haven't put your final score in there, Jared. So if you want to send that through, then I'll log it. But Kez is saying 4th place. Kez, can you tell me how much points Arsenal are going to get after 10 games out of a possible 30? So I can write yours down here. I'm just putting Kez down here.
Imagine what. I've got to see what his first 10, because if it's top loaded, then maybe. But if it's not, I'm thinking, what kind of an end of a season are Arsenal going to have to finish 4th?
Yeah, so Andrew's saying that we're going to finish 6th.
That's huge.
Andrew said we're going to finish 6th. Kez said we're going to finish 4th. So I'll put him down here, 4th. I just don't know what Kez's. I just don't know what Kez's score is out of possible 30. So Neomis, you think we're going to finish 8th?
Yeah. Based on everything that I've seen so far, transfer windows, what other teams are doing, I think West Ham will be the ones to drop out, and I think Aston Villa will probably be the ones to replace them. Now, I don't know between 5th and 7th how that's going to line up, but and unless we bring in the signings, I just don't see it. Based on today's date, the 11th of August, about to be the 12th in like half an hour.
So this is, and I'll have to talk to La African Guna and all them other guys to get their predictions. But this is the one that I feared, because Tony has been my rock. Tony has been my support system. Tony has been my consultant and my counselor at my AA Arsenal meetings. And to hear this right now, it's gonna break my heart. It's gonna break my soul. Tony, where do you think Arsenal are gonna finish next season?
7th.
Yeah, he's going for the same. Yeah, you know what? Big respect to you for being real, bro.
I think there's a chance we could finish 6th, but it depends on who we buy.
Kez, listen, guys, Kez is saying 23 points, which is the same as Tom, and we're gonna finish 4th.
Top heavy.
Wow. Okay, so Kez, like afterwards, can you come and see me at my home here in Bournemouth, Elstree?
Wow.
And
you got to come on the stream, man. You got to explain
and give me some of what you're drinking, brother, because I want that. That's gonna take me through the season. I still got my coconut rum. Yeah.
Arsenal's going to go through Oktoberfest unbeaten. Wow.
I got my coconut rum here.
Wow.
Boy.
Wow.
Like, listen, I hope all of you are right. Kez, I really hope you're right. That would be amazing. But you're
Kurt said we're gonna finish 7th as well. Still waiting for a couple of you guys to come in. Ashik saying that we're gonna finish 6th. So I'm just gonna put him down here as well. There's no other signs at the moment. CJ ain't even gonna tell me where he thinks we're gonna finish. Yeah, CJ, you think we're gonna be battling relegation, innit? Vincey, where are we going to finish?
It's a hard one because my heart wants to say 6th. It really does want to say 6th, but I can't see any consistency in our play that makes me believe that we're going to get anything higher than 9th. And that's brutal for me to say that we'll finish 9th. But real. I just think until I see something, someone come through the door or someone just get hold of Aubameyang, slap him up 2 times and say, listen, fix up.
You know what? If any of you brother out there didn't think Vincey was real, yeah?
9th.
You
I'm
know
serious.
now.
No.
I'm saying 9th. This is 9th because, you know, I'm trying to contemplate for Arsenal to finish 6th. What does Aubameyang have to score 25, 30 goals?
Oh, easily.
So where's, if he doesn't do that, who's gonna chip in? Where are all these goals coming from?
Vincey, do you realize that Leeds scored more goals than us last season?
I know. And look where Leeds finished.
They finished 9th.
And look where
I said 8th. Like, I should change mine to 9th. That's how bad it is.
I'm trying to figure out. It's like
Neomis, my hand's hovering over it. 8 or 9.
I'm 9th, man. I'm going 9th now until I see something else.
No, it has to be. This is where my heart kicks in. Like, it has to be 8th, because if you're 9th now, then Arteta has to go. You can't finish below what you did last season. Like, I'm gonna stick with 8th.
Boy, you know what? Just congratulations to all of you guys out there, because I thought you guys were gonna come, and I'm talking about like the guys in the chat and everyone. I thought you guys was going to come with the same bullshit as last year, 20 points, 25 points. and you lot ain't having it. Yeah, you're not having it. Hold on, I got La African Guna here. La African Guna said we're going to finish. Let me put his numbers here. He's just sent me a message saying we're going to finish 8th as well. He said 8 or 9, but I can't put both of the numbers in there. You know, yeah, La African Guna is real right here. He's got the same tally points. Let's look at the tally points at the moment where we are. So I think that we're going to finish with 12 points out of a possible 30. Now, last year I said 16, and you lot was hammering me for that. And I think we're going to get 12 points out of a possible 16. We're going to be struggling in the mid-table after 10 games. Neomes has gone for 9. That's what surprised me. Neomes is more positive than I am as an Arsenal fan. He's more real. In fact, if we type up the amount of messages we get from everybody in the panel that talks about Neomes and Arsenal, they say him and Ebony are the most positive out of the bunch. And that's why I don't know what's happened to Ebony. I know she had something to do afterwards. Something must have happened, which is because I know Ebony wouldn't miss this for the world. I know Bertram checked out. I know he checked when we had a couple of streams back, the Chelsea stream and Tottenham. Bertram was like, I don't even want to be here. So I know Bertram was checked out.
I'm just seeing it there. 9.
Yeah.
Wow.
Listen,
it gets harder after this. It gets harder after this.
When you've got okay, D just said D said to me 11 or 13th. Now the man's telling me 13th. I'm so dead.
The highest I could give them is 11. That's the highest. Like maybe Palace could turn into a win, but everything else, I honestly think is accurate. The highest I could ever give is 11.
Bro, I've given Palace a win.
No. Listen, Palace are my second team this season, right? I'm supporting Patrick Vieira. Like I hope he brings in Eddie Nketiah into Palace because they don't want him at the Arsenal. But no, I can't.
Yeah, sorry, go on. I was going to say, due to my time at Watford's always going to be my second team. Yeah, I can't say anything bad about Watford. And what was you saying, Vincey?
I was going to say, this first 10 is tough, but the next 10 is also tough, also because of the time period. So, over the Christmas period. So I'm stopping and thinking, you've seen the scores that we're putting in here. The second half, we're gonna have to do something seriously better than what we did last season to get up to some of these final league positions.
He's gonna figure it out. He's gonna get desperate again, like last season.
That's a huge happen.
Yeah, he will stop playing the way he wants to play, and he will start doing like what I told him to do, which is change the strategy and get the best out of Aubameyang, and we'll probably have the best defense in the second half of the season with like the third or fourth best attack.
Okay, so second half. Somebody just said second half of the season. Second half of the season.
Second half of the
season. Let's smell what the Rock is cooking. Let's put a WWE SmackDown on the New Year. So New Year's Day, Man City at home. After that, Tottenham away. And then we got Chelsea away. That's the New Year.
You know what? I'm going to change where we end the season. From what did I say? 8th? Let me just change that to 9th. No, you know what? No, because that's at the beginning. Like when we get to February, March, April, May, that's when we'll get a bit of a run in. Like we haven't had one of those since Emery, where we go on like a 10-game winning streak. Like, yeah. So yes, you know what? Second half of the season, we can do it. We could do it, but definitely not now. Not from what I've seen.
Wow. But he's shown, to fair play to Arteta, he's shown that at the end of the day, he does make adjustments that over the course of the period, you can look and see, okay, from this period, it's worked. And of a span of games, whether it's good enough to get us into Europe, may not be. We don't want to be in a foolish tournament, but it's still Europe. So you could be right in that sense where we pull it second half, but again, it doesn't start easy. It may end easier, but it doesn't start easy during a very difficult time of the year when notoriously we don't do well. So be interesting times.
Yeah, it will. I'm just talking. I'm just sending messages to. Hold on a second, guys. Give me a second.
Got to get Kez on to explain that. That's gotta get Kez on to explain that. Wow.
I will say this though to follow up. I really hope that your predictions are correct, because if it's anywhere near mine, the fan base is just going to go absolutely mental.
So guys, we do have somebody coming in that's going to go through their predictions. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I want it to be a surprise.
The better stand.
It's Stan.
Somebody's coming in. They're on their way, and they'll be here in about 5 seconds.
There's a helicopter. What's going on, Stan?
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce back into the stream La African Guna.
No! My man,
I had to jump on. I was about to sleep, and then I pulled up the stream, and I was like, yeah, I can't miss this one.
Big up, man. Let's go.
So the only thing we don't have from you is, you did send me that we were going to finish 8th. You did send it to me. Did you want to go through?
Yeah, I'll go through my thinking of like why, and I guess also in terms of last year when we were talking about this, I think me and Tony were about 20 points. And
20 points, yeah.
You can see how, like, as I become older, I'm becoming more realistic as well. I'm becoming more mature, and I'm understanding like the position that my club is in. It's not like this kid fallacy that I just want my team to be the best in the world, and I expect us to win everything, every single game, right? I mean, you can see every season, like this is the reality, man. We are a bang average team. Like it's just pathetic. I mean, the amount of bad transfers we've been doing the last 10 years, like we keep talking about these things, but I don't think we realize how long this has been. It's not been the last 3-4 years. This has been bad business for 10 plus years. And I mean, looking at PSG right now, signing 5 players. I mean, Messi for free, regardless of what it is. I mean, I look at that and I'm jealous. That's what I want my team to be, and we talk about this where I say I want my team to spend money. That's what I want, because you'll see PSG is going to win the Champions League this season, or they're going to give a really, really good go at it. They're going to be in the final and they're going to completely dominate their league, right? I mean, it's going to be 4-5-0 spankings like Arsenal used to give against the smaller teams. I mean, that's what PSG is going to do this
But
season.
African Guna, did you see that PSG are all ready to make? They're already in position to make that money back, because their Twitter account, was it their Twitter account or Instagram account, went from 19 million to 43 million overnight.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like, that's what you get for having big signings like that, right? I mean, you can see how they were milking it as well in terms of marketing, right? I mean, how many videos, how many different marketing campaigns they were doing. Obviously, it's the best player in the world, one of the 2 best players in the world if you want to go there. And yeah, of course, it's like, we just came out with our 3rd kit, and I'm thinking to myself, imagine we announced Madison in the 3rd kit, or Awar, whoever it is. I mean, the amount of money we would have made from those shirt sales alone. It's just the thinking of this club, right? And you guys were mentioning, I mean, Socrates, all these players that have literally, like, when you guys were talking about that, I'm thinking about Mesut Ozil. We paid our most. We went into a season with our most expensive player ever not to be in the squad, and we're paying this guy for 6 months to do absolutely nothing. It just, how does Arsenal get into a position where we go into a season and we have to have Socrates and Ozil like sitting out of our? It's just ridiculous. Like, what other team, big team, do we see having these issues? I don't see any. So it's really tough, man. And I mean, Neomis was bang on, and I think everyone is as well. If we do sign good players, this completely changes. We can go from the 8th position to maybe a 6th or 5th with 2-3 good signings. Apollo, you mentioned it. Onana, listen, if we're gonna sign Onana, right, and Leno's not gonna be it, let's be real, guys. We're not gonna sell Leno next season for quite a lot. I mean, I don't see us selling for more than 20-25 million. So I don't understand why Arsenal is scared to get Onana. Put Leno on the bench, let him rot. We're getting rid of him next season. What are we scared about? Let's get rid of him. Let's clear him out, and Onana's gonna be our main keeper, and then we can buy a cheap keeper, or we can have Okonkwo come into the first team and integrate. Right? It's just simple things like this. Awar, 25 million, no brainer. Like, what are we doing? I'm seeing Dumfries, as well, 15 million, 12 million. Where is all this money that we were promised? This 250 million war chest. I mean, I just don't.
Well, it was never true. It was never true. It was just.
Of course, it was never true, Apollo.
Yeah, that was Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV was just giving everybody false hope.
But still, Apollo, like this is atrocious. I mean, getting rid of Guendouzi and Mavropanos, not getting any of that cash this season. We've spent 75 million with nothing coming in. Our priority was a cam or a right back, and like we're signing a 50 million pound center back. Listen, he's great. I've seen him. I'm really enjoying him. I think he's going to completely change our team, to be honest. And I think it's really important with that right back, because they need to have that chemistry. And if they don't have that chemistry and we just upgrade Ben White, it's not going to work. You gotta fix the right back too, right? So man, it's just really disappointing.
So before you explain your predictions, just a couple of guys are really good to see you back. 18 saying La'afin Kukuna, my guy, great to see him. Kurt saying, welcome back to African Guna. Cool K, a good old friend of yours, Cool K, says, African Guna, great to see you, mate. We had Len to give us shirt sales. Oh, yeah, Len. Ask the video with Len. That was funny. Whoever put that video together, they knew what they were doing. But yeah, but
that was a great video.
It was a great video. But African Guna's right. If we had Awar and made him launch the kit, everybody would have run out and bought it.
And look at the kit, though. It's a good kit.
I love the kit. Yeah, don't talk to Tony about blue tops, but I love the blue. I'm going to be buying it. That's my next purchase.
I'm waiting for Arsenal to give me more reason to buy it. Sign the player. Sign any top player. It doesn't have to be a specific player. Any top player that's going to get me excited. And I'm gonna get it. Like that's really where I am at right now.
Give me a reason to buy a shirt. Give me a reason to spend money with Arsenal. Because why are we spending money with Arsenal? What are they giving us?
Yeah.
Why?
They're desperate. They've just lost 14 million. That's just from the group stage of the Europa League, let alone the gate receipts and all of that stuff. If I added that all up with the gate receipts, which we normally take 3 million every game, we've probably lost in the Europa League somewhere around 22 to 24 million. And so that's the reason why they made fans try to pay for preseason games, which went down like a house on fire.
I mean, I never pay. I would never pay. Honestly, I can't. Like, it's ridiculous, especially for a team in 8th place. It's not like you're Chelsea or any of these top teams that like you can even demand to pay to watch that. So yeah.
Do you know what was the worst one? Yeah, this is gonna make you laugh. Rangers give their fans the game for free. So all the Arsenal fans was going on to Rangers, their Twitter account and all of that, and the website, watching the game for free. Well, in London, Arsenal was selling the game for $7.99. It was just like, do you know exactly what's going on right here? Can you not see that the people that you're...
I didn't even get to mention Xhaka, guys. I mean, that is how many issues we have that I didn't even mention him. And I mean, listen, when I was hearing all those rumors, I absolutely knew that this rat was gonna find some hole in the changing room and fucking be there. I swear to God, I knew it. Like, people were getting really excited, and every day I'm checking Twitter, hoping to have an official confirmation. Here we go from Fabrizio, and it wasn't happening, and I knew it. You know, I had that gut feeling from the start. And
I read your Twitter and I was in tears, man. I was
usually I would be really happy that this is the type of Arsenal that we want to see. Like, okay, if they're not meeting our valuation, then fine, let's be big boys and ask for the money that we want. But this is the one player in my entire life as an Arsenal fan that I absolutely give him for free. And
I told them guys take the 12 million, and they were like, "No, Apollo, let's get what he's worth." No.
Take the 12 million. What is he going to be worth in 2-3 years? If no one's willing to pay for him now, what are we thinking? We're going to give him a contract extension, and all of a sudden it's going to raise his price? Absolutely not. Just get rid of him.
I said to these guys, Is it worth? I said I would have taken 12 million for him. Is it worth going for another season of just having our midfield the way it is with him at the spine? It's not worth it. It's not worth it, man.
Even if we don't replace him, I personally believe Miguel Aziz is a better player than him. Already, I would take my chances and play Aziz instead of him. And I mean, we've seen Lukonga, so really, I mean, the player is already there, right? If we don't have the money, that's cool. Just make sure Xhaka's on the bench this season. That's what I want to see. As long as he's not in the starting 11, I don't care about him. He can sit there and rot, and they can pay him. Just don't put him on the field, because that's when I have an issue personally, right?
Don't be silly. Come on now.
No, of course we know he's gonna play. Like we're cheapskates. We can replace him. Yeah, of course we know.
Well, I talked to a few of the guys at 101, and I have decided, because a couple of people are asking me, am I going to give him player ratings and all that? I definitely have decided to boycott him. I don't want to know about him. Don't want to talk about him. Don't want to do any grades.
Flirting. He was flirting publicly with them. He was literally in bed with them, and then he's over here coming back, scoring a goal, which, like, okay, it was a decent goal, you know. And then he goes and kisses the badge. Come on, man, and everyone forgives him. This fan base is ridiculous.
He was begging. Man. He was begging to get out of here, man. He couldn't wait. He went and sorted personal terms out before we even told him to. When I was told that from London Coney, I was like, hold on, because you have to have the team's permission. The guy, the guy was like, he even made, when he was at the Euros, he made a video and a statement saying, you know, things are moving forward, and let's see what happens. Hopefully, it would be what I want it to be. He already sorted personal terms out with Roma.
Yeah. Another thing, I'm really hoping Martinelli gets his playing time, and I actually had a really I think absurd point of view in terms of our starting 11 on Friday. I think we should play Saka at right back. I'm serious. I think we should play Saka at right back. I think it gives us balance, because otherwise we should play Tavares. If no, it's too risky to start that game with him. You know that Saka is gonna carry Ben White next to him, Pepe in front of him, because otherwise I don't see Saka coming into this team right now. So I'd rather have him playing at right back and have a good balance. I think that is our only chance to win, in my opinion. Otherwise, you can tell. I mean, I don't think we, you know. Yeah, we might sneak a win, but after that, we're not going to be able to handle the rest of the teams.
So come on, talk us through your results and why you've gone for your picks.
So, like, my results follow like a storyline of how I think usually this happens. And I don't know if you guys remember last year when I said, like, we were going to lose all our games against Liverpool and get smashed, and then we were going to sign Partey. And that's what happened. And again, we don't learn from our mistakes. I think that is going to happen again. We're going to lose, and there's going to be so much pressure, and that's when they're going to sign the player. That's Arsenal. That's Arsenal 101. If you're a true fan, you know that that's how it works. So, honestly, I think we're going to win the first game. We'll get away with the ESR Saka Martinelli show. One of them is going to, you know, produce for us, and we're going to get away with a 1-0 win. And then Chelsea's going to come, spank us, put us back into our place, show us like how they're massively ahead of us in terms of team, organization, structure, you know, just the entire club. And then, of course, Man City, I mean, regardless of if Harry Kane is playing in that game or not, we're going to get pretty much a smacking there. Against Norwich, I think losing Buendia, they haven't spent too much money. I think that will be a game that we'll win. Burnley as well, I think we'll win. And then I think after that, that's when the whole, like, we come down that whole mountain, you know, you're just about to crash and all the wheels are coming off the car. And
that's what Naomi said. Guys, sorry, we have to say goodbye to Tony because his phone's about to die. Tony, thanks for joining us on the stream. Are you going to be here Friday with Friday stream opening up the season, Tony?
I should be with you, mate.
What about tomorrow? Tomorrow we're probably going to be doing a season preview with Andy and the rest of the guys, so we might jump on for just a quick one, just predictions, really.
All right, buddy, I'll give you a shout.
All right, no problem. All the best, Tony, man.
Big
shout out.
You, Tony.
Right, let African Guna go on.
Yeah, no, I was saying, guys, I think Spurs, you know, not one that I would like to say that we would lose, but we can definitely lose that game. I was going for a positive draw, but I honestly think that's when our downfall and Arteta out and Kroenke, everything, that the whole fan base is going to go in meltdown right here in this portion, because the transfer window is going to be closed. We're going to like see for ourselves all the mistakes. Not that we can't see them now, but it'll be more, you know, of a realization when we go through that process and say, holy crap, we actually didn't, get a backup goalie. We didn't get a right back. We didn't get a creative midfielder. And I think that's where we're going to crash and burn. And we're going to draw, and then lose against Aston Villa. Buendia going to have an amazing match. Obviously, rub it in that we didn't sign him. You know how it goes. And yeah, Leicester, come on. Leicester is an incredible team. I mean, they are way, way, way ahead of us. So yeah, that's honestly how I see it happen.
Right, A-Team's just said we're going to finish 9th. So I've just put his score in there. I'll tidy that up as much as I can. Yeah, look, I don't disagree with you. I even last year when I said 16, everybody was thinking, yeah, Apollo, what are you drinking? And that's exactly what we finished on. And this season, I mean, I'm trying my hardest to get this above 12. And I don't see where I can.
I mean, we can easily draw Norwich, Burnley, and I mean, honestly, yeah, I'm not confident to win any games, even the usual games that like against the smaller teams where I would say, okay, like we should be winning these games like Norwich, Burnley, even Aston Villa, I would say Brighton. I'm not confident at all, man. We have no creativity whatsoever.
We can't score goals.
I think this first game is the one game that can go either side because it's a North London derby. You don't know what can happen. You know, that's the one game where you can push up if you're on 12. You know, you can actually get more. You can go either way. That game.
Vinci, you're not gonna enjoy hearing this, but I mean, I was watching AFTV News Daily, and one of the guys on there was mentioning that if we get into a position where someone comes in and offers big money for Martinelli, we might have to sell the guy if we can't sell anybody else, and we need to raise funds. You know how Arsenal are, and when he said that, it blew my mind. I was like, holy crap, he's right. Like that is something we could definitely see happening because
So what do you reckon?
Martinelli.
So what do you reckon? How much do you think How much do you think Martinelli is actually worth
60, 70 cash? Give me 60, 70 cash and
you're selling 60.
Yeah, I said that about Smith Rowe. I said to you guys, I would take 60, 70 million for Smith Rowe. 60 million. He wouldn't go for 70.
He's super young and he's versatile. I mean, there's no reason his goal scoring record, you know, we don't consider it a lot of the times, but he hasn't had that many appearances. So his goal scoring record is actually pretty decent, you know, for his age. So
what would you do with the money? So you would sell Martinelli for 60?
No, I wouldn't. I'm saying he alluded me to the fact that actually might be a reality. We come to the close of the window and we can't get any of our players out apart from Joe Willock for 25 million. Kolasinac, all these bums are still here. I mean, what are we gonna do? We're gonna have to sell someone. The reason, personally, I think we're selling Willock. And I really enjoyed your video, Apollo, your rant in the car, and really opened my eyes to Willock. I think he could be good for us this season. He could be a great player. I just don't think that any other of our players are assets that we can sell for good money. And now we're forced in a situation where, like, okay, 25 million for Joe Willock. You know, time is ticking. We're starting the season. We got to sell this guy and just see what we can do with that money and figure out a plan. Because these guys are scrambling right now. You know what I mean? Like, where's the plan? There's no way you're telling me we're going into the first game of the season with no midfield, and Bellerin, and I mean, come on, Leno was also quite suspicious in preseason. I mean, his passing was atrocious. He looked like he's forgotten how to kind of play at the back, and he wasn't even that great to begin with, right? So I'm not feeling very comfortable at all, especially if we continue trying to play this out from the back with El Neni and Xhaka. They're going to continuously make mistakes, and we're going to keep getting killed. Easy goals. We're going to give free goals, as usual.
Yeah, guys, I just want to update you on a text that I got from Colin today. The situation with Joe Willock is that we all know the clubs have agreed the fee. And in the Tottenham game, he didn't play because he was trying to sort out personal terms. The personal terms are causing an issue at the moment. Willock wants to get paid. And Newcastle are saying that they can't pay him. So there is a very slim chance. I know no one's sort of really talked about this at the moment, but I have confirmation from Colin that there is a chance that the deal might not go through, but that's only about probably 25-30% chance.
Like, honestly, who else are we going to sell, right? They're going to figure it out. I agree.
But, that's out of Arsenal's hands. What Arsenal have said, we want 25 million, and Newcastle have said, yes, 20 million up front and then 5 million in add-ons and whatever. So that the problem is with Joe Willock. He's the one that's slowing the deal down. And honestly,
he doesn't want to.
Sorry?
He doesn't
no,
want to.
I don't think he is. Well, when I shot that video, I had no intention of going into him and Hayland and wanting to play, but he wants to play. I've been told many times he doesn't want to go. That's why I said what I said in the video, because he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to leave Arsenal.
He's playing with his best friends. Like, of course, why would he want to? He grew up with these guys. He wants to make it in the first team with these guys alongside him in the starting 11. That's the dream, right? From the academy, that's the dream. And yeah, of course, he doesn't want to end that dream. But I mean, I think he doesn't have much, power in this situation. I think Arsenal is going to be force their hand, and yeah, and if he goes, I think it also gives space for that creative midfielder. I think if we keep him, we have too many people in our squad. Like, we have to get more than 3 players. So
pay people off. Pay them off. Kolasinac, we could dump him. Willian, get him the hell out of the club. Beyond any means necessary, Willian. He is not needed.
I mean, guys, do you realize we have to submit 25 men on to the FA tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock?
Who are we going to leave out?
People are going to be out of the squad, right? Some people are going to be off.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's going to be
and guys, remember, guys, this is nothing that you can take back. You have a lieu for a player who you might buy on a transfer late, and the FA will allow you to subsidize that. But if you don't have a new player coming in on the books, you cannot change it. The only way the FA will allow it is if you bought a Maddison next week or you bought Aaron Ramsdale. That becomes a fresh transfer. They will allow you to swap a player in and out. But if you don't have a new transfer, you cannot change that. Once you submit
that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna swap out. That's the only thing we can do, because we're not gonna figure all this out in 2 days. That's the only choice they have. They're gonna swap it out and sell whatever player, swap it out and sell that player, and then bring in. I'm hoping 2 players minimum.
Man, we are just.
I don't have much confidence in Arteta with his tactics right now with the players he's got. He's going to have to buy some seriously talented players to shift the dynamics of how we move the ball. And that, again, is another added pressure based on how we're starting the season, because we're not prepared. We're behind at 8. Yeah,
what I don't understand is how we have all this supposed money and we put 40 million for Locatelli. I mean, where is that money? First of all, right? We apparently had this bid. It's been months. I mean, I've never seen a transfer where the other club doesn't decline the offer after 2-3 weeks. I mean, that thing has been cold. I haven't heard about it at all, right? And
I think you might be aware. You might have missed one of the videos that I made. I did make it clear that the actual money that's leaving the club this summer is only 31 million. Out of the 76 million, because we're doing the business over 3 years.
No, of course.
So that's the only way how they can do it, and it makes sense to me, because I as I was speaking to a few people, I said, well, the new Emirates deal, the new kit deal comes through in 2024. So when that money has to be paid up, we're not going to get caught like Liverpool did, where they couldn't spend anything, because we're looking to get an abundance 50% extra with the kit deal and maybe 100%, and who knows.
If Kroenke was smart, this is the perfect opportunity, and this is not a selfish reason. This is honestly a perfect opportunity for them to invest money, because let's say they invest 150 million now. I think over the next 2-3 years, I don't see people spending again. I think this is how the transfer window is going to start, getting accustomed to this. People are not going to have money to spend anymore, and it's going to just be 1 month, 2 months of nothing, and then all the deals at the end, right? So I think we should invest this money now, and I think Arsenal fans will be okay if next season we don't spend much money. We buy one player, but we buy these 3 players now, and we splash the cash. Go get Aouar. Go get a right back. Go get the Onana deal. And then we stay quiet. We stay quiet for the next 2-3 years. No one says anything, because we got what we need. And all these players the next 3-4 years. It's the team we want to build.
Yeah, that's what Liverpool did. That's what Klopp did. Yeah. He front loaded all his money. Yeah.
To spend that money, and I mean, we're gonna spend this money anyways in the next 2-3 years, and probably not well. This is the time where all these teams cannot afford. They're having financial difficulties. We're talking about Italy here specifically, right? Go raid these teams. France, go raid these teams.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm gonna finish up now. We've done our predictions. I'm going to tag it on the YouTube channel, so it would be the first thing you see when you log on. Let's have some closing comments. Is there anybody who's got anything to say? I think we've said it all, to be honest with you. We've gone through every game. We've gone through our opinions. We've done a prediction for the season, which we may change at some point. But I've said everything I've needed to say. So I'll just go around the clock. Neomis?
Well, I hate to be a Debbie Downer, everyone, but I will tell you this, that I don't see us really making any more signings. And this is why I want
No,
Joe.
there's gonna have to be one or two.
No,
There's no way.
no,
There's no way. These guys are gonna get
it is.
touched alive. There's no way.
No, it is. No, I'm telling you, this is going to be the tagline for the Amazon documentary, because fans like you and I are gonna go absolute ape shit going over to attack Arteta. Like it's gonna be bad. He's not going to make it to the end of the season, and Joe Willock will get to stay, which is what I want. And then I'll get the team that I want. But I don't see it. I've heard the Ramsdale deal while being on here is on verge of collapse.
Yeah.
So I mean, like a backup goalkeeper, I thought would have been the first priority of the season.
No, last priority, man. First priority is a cam. We needed a cam last year, man. Like
the thing is, look, guys, look, we can. I would get the Onana deal. They're fighting around 5 million euros, 7 million euros. Just give them.
Sorry, I've got to go, guys. So take it easy, yeah.
No problem, Vincey. All the best, man. All the best.
Good to see you. Look back.
Cheers.
Right. So I would get the Onana deal done. It's a cannot lose deal. This guy, he's. They want to sell him. People are just fighting around how much little money that they can spend. 10 million is not. We were going to buy David Raya from Brentford for 10 million. This guy is way better than him.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't make any sense, Apollo. I mean, Arsenal, like, I do not, and this is why I tell you, right? I don't have any faith in Edu and Arteta. They have no experience. But the other thing I want to say is that there's no way that Josh Kroenke and Stan Kroenke, even if they don't know anything about football, there's no way that they're watching what we're watching as owners and not seeing the. It's not like 1 or 2, 3. It's like 10, 15 huge mistakes, like 60, 70, 100 millions of pounds. That we've effed up. And these guys, like, I don't care if you don't watch sport, like, you're a businessman. You have to be noticing this. And now, specifically, Josh Kroenke should be watching and he should be there involved. They said that he was going to be involved. Remember when there was this Super League stuff, it got canceled, and then they came out and they were like, we're going to communicate. We know it's been quiet since that day. Like, what difference has happened in those 2 months? I personally think the fans on Twitter should go and try to get this Spotify guy to bid, because I honestly think this is the only way Arsenal will spend money this summer. If that guy bids and the fans start putting pressure, that's the only way we'll put pressure on Kroenke, being like, this guy wants to buy.
It's a bit disappointing that he didn't come in with a solid bid, though. I mean, the two bids are weak.
He put a decent bid. I mean, it's in the billions. Come on, like the guy's making, he's making a good profit. I just don't understand, man. It just doesn't make sense. He's seeing his own asset, like, deteriorate in front of him. We're
right in front of him,
We're not definitely able to catch up.
Yeah, no Europe, no Champions League, no. It's completely depreciated. Your brand, your product.
West Brom in the second round of the EF. Like, this is embarrassing, guys. This is embarrassing. We have gotten so low, and I want to remind people, Wenger is also part of this mistake. He signed Mustafi, he made Kalas, all these deals that he made. Like, we are suffering the consequences now of all the bad business that he was partially in charge of.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying right now. We're putting out fires, and it's difficult to build a foundation when you're trying to.
We're taking too long. We're taking way too long to put out these fires have been there for a long time, and we're taking way too long. Look, if we really have this 35 million for Ramsdale, we can easily get Awar and a right back, just like that.
Just like that. Exactly.
Just like that, they got Lukaku. Look at Messi, 2-3 days. If
you're
a serious club, it gets
bang,
like
straight like that. Yeah. We're taking on too much water, guys. The Titanic, man. This ship is going down. We're taking up. We got little tiny buckets trying to get the water out of the ship. It ain't going no good. The water's coming in too much, man.
I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I think the Kroenkes need to come out with it. Something needs to be said. There's no way we're going into the season unprepared without a midfielder, a center attacking midfielder. We got rid of Ceballos and Odegaard. That's 2 midfielders we lost. Then we sold Guendouzi for dirt cheap money, by the way, which I'm still pissed off.
Where's Torreira?
He's in Spain. He's in South America. He's back in Uruguay. He's on holiday.
No, but listen, I heard that he has to quarantine because of, like, the coronavirus and the rules, and so he has to be there for 14 days. So apparently it's not that he's on holiday, he actually couldn't travel. But yeah, by the way, that's another loss. We'll sell him for like 10-15 million and take another 10 million loss on
That's
him.
disgraceful. That's a disgrace.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's it from us. It's midnight here in the UK. Thank you guys for joining us. And we know what we are up against now. We've all put our numbers up on the table. Now, tomorrow we're going to be here with a season preview of the whole Premier League. We've got our guys from West Ham, from Spurs. We've got Man City fans coming on the stream. So we'll have a look at that. And then Friday, we're going to be with you with the big game. And for me, it is a big game because the players have to come out and make a statement. And it's going to be electric.
Now, why are you doing that to yourself? Why are you doing that to yourself? You know that it's going to be crap. It's going to be crap. We're not going to create.
Oh, my God.
Just have that expectation.
All right, then, guys. All the best, man. Speak to you guys later. Thank you, everybody, for all of your donations, and thanks for the panel. And I'll see you in the next one, man. Nice one, guys.
All right.
Cheers.
See you guys.